night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Look at there. What happened? This thing's reacting slowly. That's why we have to. Fuck, we got fans blowing really fast and all kinds of crazy shit. If we do hit a hyperloop and I go out, don't go anywhere because I'll be back. At least we've got a good signal going here tonight. I want to welcome everybody here, coming to you live 250 miles above your imagination from the International Fake Station. I'm up here in this IT mess with my good friend, Something Wong. Oh my God. Had a funny thing happen the other day. I don't know if y'all know about Flow State, but I popped over onto his show real quick, and there was some guy there running his NPC bullshit, and he could not handle having his belief system challenged. So he's got a thing over there where you can have somebody timed out for a certain amount of time. And this dude kept laying down $20, man, at a time. And it was hilarious. And then the best part was I went ahead and went on there anyways under a different name and didn't put up my fucking camera. Yeah, I went on anyways. Too bad. Anyway, that was yeah, he seems like it. Yeah. Anyway, we've had a good couple of days. Sorry we didn't have a show for the last couple of days. I just didn't feel like fucking doing it. I see Roger's in the audience tonight. Roger Ledwell, I got your email, but it's between you and Will Duffy. I'm not really understanding what's going on with that email. If you want to pop up here tonight and tell us what's going on with that. Wow. I'm just sitting back documenting the fall of Western civilization as we know it. And I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with me, but I'm finding it really kind of comical. I mean, to be in despair about it that's useless. I just look at it like, of course, this is the shit that's going. Yes, of course, these are the things we're being presented with. We got some funny shit to show you. Anyway, did y'all catch the latest Mecha Godzilla catching the booster rocket coming down from space. That's how you know. That's how they know they've got you right where they fucking want you. People believe in that dumb shit, man. Never wondering why those people are cheering and just incessantly going crazy. I got a photograph of a guy who dropped to his knees in tears after witnessing it. No, I'm sorry. That's a fucking religion, man. That's a religion. I feel sad. So, wow, look at here. We've got a lot of good people in the house. Let me see what over here on Rumble. We got anybody? We got Twilight Nights is over there. I need to put this link over there in case somebody else wants to come up on panel between that platform or this one here on good old YouTube. It looks like we've got 63 watching. We got Angela Baby Carson in here. Sean Alke on top of Angela Baby Carson. What's up with that? We got Push Button 62. Truth Troll. There's Mojo. What's going on? I hear you got blocked by Karen B. I would be interested to hear what happened about that. What the fuck that was all about. Let's see. We've got RF is Killing Me Softly is here. We got Hercules. You know, that always makes me think of that song. Killing Me Softly with his song. You know the one? There's several artists have done it. Let's see here. We got True Earth Whisper. I like that. Chicago Cubby Bear. Good to see you. Brad and Tasha. Saddlebum. Angela Baby Carson again. There she is. All over the place. Jumping all over the place. We got Post Anything Do. Deuce. Do. You'll have to forgive me. We've been we made some hash. Pretty good stuff. We got Hercules. Lazarus is with us tonight. Let's see. Truth Troll. Did I miss anybody? Jeff Gashead. And let's see here. Hold up. Anybody? Did I miss Eldon Bean? Let's see. Ella Taylor. No one. I see what you did there. You see how he did his name? That is, I like that. Play on words. Greg Braden's up in here with us too. Let's see. Good to see JP. We got a whole bunch of good people up here with us tonight. And the crowd is ever increasing as we go along. I don't know if this is, it should be playing okay over here, right? Yeah. Everything good? You're going to give us that? Yeah, everything good over there. Cool. As everyone knows, we have an open panel here. You can come up. Any of these like globe trolls. Oh my God. I got somebody. I love these people that love to snipe in the comments of shit. And they're saying, Flatzoid is afraid to debate me. Are you willing to debate me on celestial navigation? I'm like, well, I agree that celestial navigation works. Why? What's the debate? Well, when it comes to the Earth being flat, it says, how does looking at the sky going to prove anything about the Earth? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? How come the first thing these people want to do is look at the goddamn sky? It's, you know, the Earth's not a globe. Yes, it is. Look. Yeah, you're not. Dumb as shit. All coming from this idea that was planted in your head of everything going around us and shit. And being out in space. What a dumb fucking idea. I can't get it. Well, let's see. We're going to refresh over here because I had some cool shit to show you. We've had some interesting things happening in the world. We had, it looks like the UN headquarters in Lebanon were bombed by Israel. Are they on like wanting like a suicide by cop type thing to happen or something? Why? Man, they just want to piss off everybody in their area. And then I hear another thing where North Korea, all the roads that lead into South Korea and the bridges and shit like that, they've blown them up. And so I don't know what that means, but I understand that North Korea's got troops in Ukraine front with the Soviets with the Russians. But how do I know? I don't know. Well, we found some interesting things. There's interesting stuff on the mind front. We're seeing the Kamala campaign crumble. I don't know if this is going to be a point where they're going to be able to cheat with this one or not. There's Austin Murphy. Good to see you. Good to see you. Are there ballers here? Probably not, Mike Van Dyke. I don't know. They don't come over here too often, and when they do, they just don't seem to last. It's not because we block them or anything. It's just they can't handle the vibe, man. They can't handle the vibe. They come here looking for loosh, and they don't really get that. They get mocked, which is cool. That's what we aim to please, you know. So some interesting stuff to look at on all kinds of things. Dicinian dyes, coincidences, and it was just kind of a hodgepodge. If anybody's got a particular topic in mind or wants to come up and discuss anything, by all means, click that link that is pinned up in the top of the chat. And you know what I should do is go ahead and put it over in the description of the video, just for those people that, where did it go? There we go. All right, so put that in there, and then we'll hit save, and it should be good. The top one. So hopefully, if anybody wants to get up here, because sometimes I know it's hard to do that with the chat on a phone. Some phones display YouTube differently. I don't know. Not my monkey, not my circus. Just let it do what it is. So let's see. I'm just going to kind of go in kind of the little hodgepodge ADHD order that we usually like to go by. But I thought this was kind of cool. A correlation between the Jewish menorah, and if you don't know what that is, that's the symbolic candle holder that they use during Hanukkah. And there's some interesting correlation between that and whoops, that's not the one. And the so-called solar system. So let me just show you this real quick. I thought this was interesting. Just found it a little bit ago.
Is it possible that the first solar system model made by man is the ancient Jewish menorah? Check this out. The menorah, which is a candelabra with 9 candles, has a center candle called the servant candle and 8 smaller candles, 4 on each side, which looks exactly like the profile of our solar system. But it gets better. The Jewish tradition is that the servant lamp is lit first and it provides the light for the other 8 candles, meaning that the candles don't provide their own light, they're actually lit by the servant candle, which would represent the sun. And there's more. The candles on the menorah branch off from the center, but they appear to be connected. And we see the same thing with the planets of our solar system. Mercury and Venus are called twins. They're very similar. They're uninhabitable and way too hot. Mars and Earth are also similar. Mars is called Earth's sister planet. They're similar in size, similar in composition, both potentially habitable. Saturn and Jupiter, also twins. These are both gas giants. They're similar in size, and they both have rings, Neptune and Uranus. These planets are also twins. They're obviously furthest away from the sun. They're nearly identical. Similar size, similar composition, similar color, just like the menorah. So what do you think?
I thought that was kind of interesting. Could just be
Is it possible?
coincidental, but I don't think so. You know, I think there's a lot more to many of the things we take for granted. It makes me remember excuse me. One of those Planet of the Apes movies where those people had been underground all that time and they were actually worshiping a nuclear bomb, thinking it was a god or an idol to a god and shit, you know, because of its awesome ability to destroy things, you know. That was kind of what we had. Yeah, I think TikTok is gay too. I hate it that they put those fucking music and shit. These I get them from people put them up on Twitter. I've got a TikTok, but I've hardly ever used it because it's just sort of like it's digital ADD, you know. And Twitter's almost as bad, but it's just like you don't really. There's no. I don't know. As far as like with TikTok, it's just like here's this video, then here's this video, and it's like I don't know. I just can't. there's some interesting shit on there, but there's a lot of bullshit too, just like bullshit that who the fuck wants to even see it? You know what I'm saying? Right, Greg?
Yes, okay, look at my name. I found my hat. Where's yours?
I got my fake X. It's wintertime. Look. It's
Okay. It's a change of season.
yeah. It's
I'm not
fake
gonna
X.
get one of those. I don't look very good in those.
No, this was working out good because it's been kind of chilly here today, and this works out better
Cool.
than the other. Gives a little more insulation to my old creaky bones and shit. Where was your tinfoil hat hiding at, bro?
It was actually under my desk by my vacuum cleaner. I kicked it underneath
Man.
there for some reason.
So did you hear about that, man? Israel bombed the UN headquarters in Lebanon today.
No, when you said that, that was the first time I heard it.
Yeah, I found a little thing about it today, and I ain't hearing a whole lot about that. Boy, they're really raising a thing about them bombing that tent with those
Yeah.
people in it, burning them up.
It just makes you think about how much they really adhere and think about the UN. So,
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. It's like if there was anybody that was inclined, if there was an organization right now that would be inclined to even be on their side, it would be the UN, because of the fact, that, I mean,
mhm.
they're garnering no support from, at least popular wise, from us.
Yeah.
And they've picked a fight with everyone around them.
It's
And I think that their expectation is for us to jump in there and help. And I think that's going to go over like a fart in church.
Yeah. yeah. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. We'll be
I mean, the
waiting
only
with bated
recourse they
breath.
could, huh?
We'll be all waiting with bated breath, waiting.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of like I've been watching this my whole life, it's just like it's just a fuse to, inevitably it's going to explode inevitably.
Yeah.
If it's not disarmed. And what I mean by disarmed is you have to take out the volatile element that is in the component that we call the Middle East. And there is one volatile element that I see that it seems to be the root cause of most of the strife and problems going on in those areas and regions today.
And it's called ISIS, right?
That's one of its offshoots. Yep, that's one of its offshoots. Absolutely.
Finish
Yeah.
that sentence. Let's see who it is. The people who stir up the most shit, or people who react the quickest.
And I got to thinking about this. I was watching, and believe me, it's a watered down version. You've heard me talk about. I was watching it was a CBS series called, and I don't know how CBS, man, because they had this one girl. She was straight up wearing nothing, and a dude down between her thighs, man, and she was going on praying while he was doing his thing and everything. And I mean, it's on this TV show, and I was like, okay. Anyway, it was called Strange Angel, and it's about Jack Parsons and his the connection to the OTO and the Thelema Society. And dude, that's exactly what these fucking people at these Diddy parties and in Hollywood are doing.
Oh
See,
my gosh.
back in this time period,
Connection.
oh, dude, it's exactly the same. They even tout the Crowleyist line of doest thou wilt be the whole of the law.
Yeah.
Let love be the law. And this is what they aspire to. And I've been looking into it. I'm going to do a show on it here pretty soon.
Please.
But I've been looking into OTO and specifically Crowley, his connection to the military, how he actually got military people to attend some of the OTO rituals and shit. And then later on, you see going on where you've got Michael Aquino and elements of the OTO in the military.
What is OTO?
Was it Temple Orientis? I forget what the whole fucking thing stands for.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the whole thing that Crowley had
Crowley
going
thing,
on. like I said, I'm like have to take a break
Sure.
from this shit because it
Yep.
was just like so much going on with
Take a
this.
breath.
But there's definitely ties to it. And at the time when this was going on, like in the 30s, you know, here and this was going on in LA and Pasadena and in this area down in California, they had these decency laws and they were trying to get these people on decency laws. And I'm thinking to myself,
Mhm.
now what it's like, right?
Yeah.
This is, you know, this is amazing, you know, that they got that much overturned and it's all still in the same area, practicing the same thing. It's this manifestation through this thelemic practice using sex magic.
Yes.
Yep.
So I just did a quick Google search. I said Crowley OTO. It says Ordo Templi Orientis.
Yeah, Ordo Templi Orientis. That's
Sure.
the order of, yeah.
Yeah, we'll dig into that.
Yep, it's a dark rabbit hole. You start getting into Crowley and how these people started, and there was close ties between Jack Parsons and
Yes.
Aleister Crowley. They actually pushed aside the guy that was running the OTO here and put Jack Parsons as the Magi in charge of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
I'm new
shit,
to I'm new to a lot of things, but like I've heard of some of these things. So
But this guy is also regarded as one of the top rocket scientists, even though he had no
Mhm.
formal teaching.
Yep.
Other than what he attended free lectures at Caltech and
yeah, we had
worked
a
in an explosives
bid.
company and shit.
We had an engineering bid for JPL, and
Uh-huh.
this dude was like, "Oh, really, JPL?" And he was thinking that it's the Jack Parsons Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and it wasn't.
It
It was
is.
something else. No, the thing that we had was totally.
Oh, okay.
This happened to be something else, and that was the first thing I thought. I was like, "Oh, Jack Parsons, we're doing that kind of stuff." Okay, I don't know.
Oh man, this dude had some twisted shit going on, man. There was some twisted shit going on in that house where he lived at, man.
Yeah.
Some real crazy shit, man. He was he ended up they opened their marriage up so that they could have this like practice this sex magic and shit. And then his wife's little sister got into it and then Jack Parsons started doing her and that didn't set too well with the wife.
Yeah.
Another big figure who came to stay with Jack and participated, and I'll save that for my show that I want to do on this because there's some wacky shit. L. Ron Hubbard. Does that name ring a bell?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get your e-reading?
Yeah, man. And he, yeah, no shit. Engrams. Yeah, right. And that dude, he ended up taking Jack Parsons' wife and stealing his boats and shit, which he ended up keeping. And
he
like
took his boats.
$20,000.
That's like his thing was like sailing and naval
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
He got jacked.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, it's some really, really crazy shit. And I only scratched the surface.
I loved how
But
South Park panned them so well, and only in a way that cartoons can, where you visually see their absurdities depicted,
Oh my
and
god.
it makes sense. And they're like, yeah, that's what really happened. That the cartoon is really what depicts what happened. You're like, oh my god.
Well, this is some other stuff that's coming out. You remember everybody was giving Michael Jackson all that shit and how they swayed the public opinion and shit. We're finding out that this dude was smeared.
This is new to me too,
smeared.
but this is amazing. I was very shocked and regretful that I jumped on the bandwagon and be like, oh, he was
He
did this stuff.
Yeah, and we find out that Kamala Harris is one that was avidly trying to get this fucking guy put in jail.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Listen to this. This is pretty crazy.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil. I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
Say it.
So, please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Because the companies take advantage of them. They really do. And Sony, being being the artist that I am at Sony, I've generated several $1 billion for Sony, several billion, and they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer myself would outthink them.
Yeah.
So we can't let them get away with what they're trying to do, because now I'm a free agent. I just owe Sony one more album. It's just a box set, really. And it's with 2 new songs, which I've written ages ago. Because every album that I record, I write, like, literally, I'm telling you the truth, I write at least 120 songs every album I do. So I can do the box set, just give them any 2 songs. So I'm leaving Sony a free agent, owning half of Sony. So I own half of Sony's, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, you know.
Tell him. Say it.
What are some of the things that will get you killed, right?
Michael, tell the story.
When was this? Do you know?
But so the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album. But I've always said, you know, good art never dies. Thank you. I love Unbreakable. You know, turn that off, please. No, what? I don't mind. Tape it.
Oh, Michael is getting gangster today. Yeah.
Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tony, came to me crying. She was crying so badly I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil, and she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being. And we have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
Oh, there you go.
We can't allow him to do this to great artistry. We just can't. I just want you to know I appreciate everything you've done. You've been amazing. You're so loyal, Diana. Everybody, Waldo, all the people here, I love you all. You've been amazing.
Thank you.
I love you.
Well, that would definitely prompt somebody to want to smear you, destroy you, maybe even kill you.
Yeah. Especially with that heading that was it Tommy was above Diddy? See where this goes?
Mm-hmm.
You know, from earlier
And
this
Tommy
year,
Mat-
what
What's
was
that?
like, you know, what was alleged by me for my kid earlier in the year.
Yeah.
From my ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
To see that go through, man. To someone who is actually legitimately guilty of that, they fucking deserve to burn.
Hmm. That's what I'm saying, you know, and they turn around. This is like so, it's getting so, they're getting so easy to pick out. the frauds,
Yeah.
because they accuse you of doing what they're doing.
Mhm.
That's what they did with him. That's what they've done with all these people. They accuse them. That's why they say, "Oh, there's Russian intervention. Trump had Russians intervening." No, it was the other way around. You know it. I mean, it was just like it's a tactic. It's a tactic that's used.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I'm looking forward to High Impact Flicks, Brian. Brian Young. He's also got the Disturbing Illusion and Here's the Deal channel.
No.
He's at the Cobb Energy Center down, I think it's in Georgia. Is that where they're doing this at? Let me see. Let me hold on a second. He said that the crowd is all the way around this place. Let me see if he says anything about
Nice.
this. And it's interesting because it's like he and I think the same way on politics and the psychology behind it. This is what gets you, the psychology behind it. What's driving these people? What is driving them so hard to vote for their chains of their own oppression? Whether you're left or whether you're right, it doesn't matter. You're still consenting to this fucking bullshit with this. Look at this crowd. This starts tomorrow. Or maybe it's tonight. Man, look at that.
This is live?
No, this isn't live. This was earlier today.
Okay.
So I think this thing is going on tonight. He's going to be getting some like man on the street interviews type thing, asking people. And I love the questions he asks because he'll get them to contradict themselves and they don't even realize that they contradict themselves.
Yes.
And
Ask
you
them
can do that
logical
with
things.
either side. You can do that with either side.
Yeah, I heard this question recently was like, well, if genitals don't matter, don't define who you are sexually, why does removing them affirm it? And I was like, wow, that's something I wish I watched. I wish that I would have asked my kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is we'll come back to this. Some things about the Dicyninian goggles. How you doing tonight, Kevin C?
Well, I'm still here.
Well, that's a good thing, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off.
I had to let go of that stupid ass laptop again. I had it working for a while. Oh, I had it working for a while, but then I couldn't get the audio to work.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's why I dropped out. So it was like I was on there. I could hear you guys talking, but I couldn't talk. I couldn't speak.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah. So I just stuck with my phone this time. I'm talking on my cell phone now.
Did you guys hear where Kamala Harris said that no one should go to jail for smoking weed? This is coming from the person who tried her damnedest to keep people in prison for as long as possible for smoking weed.
Yeah, I so do not listen to any of that. I mean, I pretty much.
It's so funny to listen to these fucking people, man.
It's not funny. It's because it's all bullshit.
Well, that's what I find funny is these people don't check them on the shit they say half the time. Like the one he say, "Oh, anybody who burns an American flag should get mandatory jail sentence," and then a week later, any government agent or employee that tries to inhibit somebody's free speech should be jailed. And I'm like, wait a second, you just proposed limiting somebody's free speech.
Yeah, they don't.
It just depends on what crowd they're sitting in front of. And the one that gets me so bad is this Harris broad. She her accent changes completely, like Hillary's did, when she was like, "Oh yeah, I keep hot sauce in my purse,"
It's because she's an actress. That's what actresses do. Actresses are playing a role. They're all playing a role. Everybody, Trump, everybody.
They need to get good at it. I mean, a good actress actually, or a good actor or actress actually immerses themselves into the role, find out
Right.
about the role, be the role. Don't just sit there and go, oh, I heard black people like hot sauce, so I'm going to say I carried it in my purse. That's, no,
Yeah.
wrong.
No. Well, I mean,
You
she's
know?
so that Kamala, man. She's so. I mean, she was basically started her job by sucking her dick all the way to the top. So and they proved
Well,
all that.
lately, I guess Candace Owens has been doing quite a bit of a deep dive into this broad's history, and it's come out now that even her own family's not even, they're like denouncing the shit she's saying. She's trying to sell off her Jamaican heritage as freewheeling pot smoking Jamaicans, and I think it was her dad said her grandparents would be rolling in the grave if they knew that she was doing this shit, if they heard her saying this shit.
It's like I said, she's following the narrative to the point to where she has to go for whatever vote. Like I was pissed off the other day. I had to go around her on the advertisements for YouTube.
Oh God!
Because her stupid ass face was out there trying to drum up money for her election. Like anybody was ever gonna donate shit to that dumb bitch.
Well, I can't believe anybody's donating any money to any of them.
No,
I mean, their
know.
whole job is going to be to go in there and try to take more and more of your fucking money, and
Right.
you're going to give them money to get in there to take your money. God, Jim, man.
That's only for the rich. That's only for the rich people that can claim it on their taxes and get a substantial claim for it.
The whole idea, people got to get out of this idea that this place up there that's called Congress, this place that's called the Senate, those people are not there to represent you. Okay. They're there to represent the bankruptcy. Okay. And their job is to try to take more and more of your shit. That is all their job is, while making you feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Diddy's thousands of bottles of fucking lube ain't got jack shit on doing on the lube job they give you.
Yeah.
Because we sit back and
the thing about it that's bullshit, Dave, is the fact that they create all this fucking turmoil and all this sideline bullshit to keep away from the truth.
Yeah.
Everybody's pissed off because of the fucking floods, and nobody's going to help them, and FEMA's out of money, and blah 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 blah. But then at the same time,
turns out they don't need the fucking people. As it turns out, they don't need FEMA.
They're signing $7 billion funding to go to Ukraine and to go to Israel and to go to back there. I mean, where does that money come from? So you're saying that the FEMA money that disappeared went to Ukraine to pay the Ukrainians, for something that we didn't even authorize or didn't say anything about?
I don't know where it went. I'm not a government accountant. I don't know where it went at all. But what has, it's people should already know, don't ever trust or count on the government for shit. Okay. And people in North Carolina and those affected areas have found that out, if they didn't already know. And most of them they don't need the government to come in and help. The government ain't fucking done shit to begin with. They've done it all themselves.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, FEMA was designed for all that, though. FEMA was designed for, Federal Emergency Association, but they can't even manage the money that they got. They're giving it away.
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad, Kevin. Well, it's what FEMA's supposed to be. We all also know what Social Security is supposed to be. I mean, when are people going to learn whatever they put out there and they say it's supposed to be for? It isn't, right? TSA, right? What's that supposed to be for? Homeland Security, what it was supposed to be for. It gets abused. Now they've signed a thing here recently that makes it authorization for the military to use deadly force on their own citizens. So, hey, there's that. But here, let's see about this constellation coincidence between certain stars and Kamala.
Oh, y'all are going to want to listen to this. So there's this constellation called Andromeda. It's also named the Chained Woman or the Chained Lady. As you can see, the lady. The brightest star in this constellation is Sirius. Spell that backwards, Harris. But that's not all. In part of the constellation, there's a star named Sirius, which we just talked about. And then Almanac. Spell that backwards, y'all. Kamala, the Chained Woman. The Andromeda constellation is based on the Greek myth of Andromeda, a princess who was chained to a rock as a sacrifice to a sea monster. It's almost like all the stars have just lined up perfectly for what's about to happen.
What's about to happen? What's your guess? I have no idea what's about to happen. I'm not psychic. But if I was,
I couldn't tell you.
I would be rich.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. God only knows what it is. I mean, but what we see, we don't know what it is anyway, because
Everybody comes on here and has sound issues. I don't understand that. This is an air base in Israel that got.
Am I not working?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Something was tapping around.
Okay.
Hezbollah supposedly hit an Israeli base today, too. It doesn't look good. It does not look good. Shit, bro, a little bit of paint, it'll be fine, right? That's all it'll take, a little bit of paint, fix that shit right back up like nothing, right?
Where's that at?
Israel, man.
Oh, okay.
That's an Israeli. It's an Israeli military base got hit by Hezbollah or somebody. How do they know who hit him? How do they know which one came from, man? They write the name on.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, probably. Well, they do that. They do that a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know how you see a label on an exploded bomb, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you certainly never would.
Don't you love it when stupid people get something happen to them? You know, right when they're doing like instant karma. This woman and these.
Yeah, I like karma.
Again, more of that instantaneous, this inability to control yourself, you know. I guess this girl was driving by and she saw some people with Trump signs on the side of the road and she didn't like it. So watch it. Why did she take her foot off the brake when she's doing that? She took her foot off the fucking brake so she could lean out the window to flip the bird, and then ended up crashing into the car in front of her. What a fucking idiot!
Well, that's how it goes.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to drop out, Dave. My system isn't responding.
All right. Well, try it, and then come on back in and see if you can get it fixed up.
All right, I just have to reset.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got this rutabaga or whatever, some kind of a vegetable that they're throwing up there. And this is what I find so damn suspicious. And you cannot give me a plausible reason. No one can. How there could be any plausible reason that they would put this artichoke out there against Donald Trump. I mean, this has got to be a joke. And they bypassed every known process that they've ever done before to ensure that this cucumber is put out there in the spotlight continuously. This can't be real. This can't be fucking real. This broad actually thought, okay, you guys know what your cloud storage is, right? It's another server somewhere else that you can access, right? Pretty sure everybody knows that it's not a literal fucking cloud, but not this genius, not this brainchild. Listen to this, broad.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right? Mm-hmm. It's no longer in a physical place. So you're now no longer
in a physical place. It's up in a cloud. And if a good strong wind comes up, boy, one of these days that cloud's going to become so dense with information, it's going to rain internet down on us, right? Man, oh my God.
Man. What an idiot.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm going, there's no way in hell you can tell me that the best political minds in Washington, D.C. and the Democratic Party, that this was the best option that they had. I mean, even if Joe had to be replaced.
I honestly do not believe that there's going to be an election. That the election isn't even the problem right now. I mean, we got so many people that are out of houses and everything on the East Coast. They're just doing whatever they can do between now and next month. They're going to throw everything at us. And I guarantee fucking ball bearing that we'll either be at martial law or something will have taken place to where the elections aren't even going to happen. They're not worried about nothing.
Well, wait a second. Now, today is the 15th.
Yep.
That means there is 20 days to the election.
Yep.
Right? 20 more days. Yeah. And there's already early voting going on.
Mm-hmm.
Already early voting in, I think it's Georgia.
Why is that happening?
I have no idea.
See, that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit. All this election shit should happen on the internet. Everybody's got an IP address. Everybody turns in their vote. It's on the internet.
No internet. It should, it should literally be paper and pen.
But see, somebody's got to count that, and that's not what you want.
Right. They've done that. That's not an unheard of thing.
But we have communication, and we can't trust anybody to count the tallies. There has to be something that's out of verse and period, without any kind of control. Nobody manipulates it.
Once you've put it in the hands of an algorithm, now it is controlled because it's at the mercy of whoever's controlled the algorithm, who's programmed the algorithm.
Like I said, it should
be the problem we ran into. Isn't that the problem we ran into already?
No, it's because of the people that were manipulating it. The people who built the system made that happen like that. They
Right.
put they put the back doors into it. But I'm not
Right.
talking about that. I'm talking about like you have a tally counter. There's only one tally counter. It's witnessed. It's completely transparent where you can see the tally counter on the day. You're looking directly at a camera that's looking at the tally counter for each side, and that's how it should be. There shouldn't be none of this electoral college bullshit is for the birds. This one man.
Now, wait a second. Would you want the people of New York City, Los Angeles, and Chicago determining who's the president of the United States?
What are you talking about?
Well,
That's
that's
not-
if you go by popular vote, that's what you'd end up having. That's why they have the electoral college.
Well, we have telephones and electronics, and we have a lot more means. The electoral college was created back in the day when there was not enough. There was so much distance. There was no
Can the electronics be
communication.
manipulated? Can the electronics they can be hacked, right?
Well, everything can be hacked,
There
but
you go.
there's ways around. There's ways around.
What's harder to hack? Having to physically do it or to electronically do it?
Well, even if you physically go there and turn in your shit, they still electronically have to count it because those ballots don't get counted. Nothing gets counted.
I'm not saying how they do it. I know how they do it now.
Well, I understand, but
was there not a time where the ballots were physically counted?
Yeah, there was back in
that's what you have to have, and it has to have oversight.
Well, there's your problem
you
right
can't
there.
rely on a machine. You cannot rely on a machine. This is where we started getting into the problems anyways. They've already cheated with paper ballots, so it's harder to cheat with paper ballots than it is. It's not impossible, but it's harder. Okay? When you start doing this counting bullshit.
Except when the opposing side brings in ballots at 3:00 in the morning from nowhere and drops off all these absentee ballots. That's messable. That's what happened last time.
Yep, that's what's going to happen again. What have they done to prevent that from happening? Nothing.
No, we're doing the same thing, using the same system, I'm sure.
See, if the voting actually worked and really made a difference, you wouldn't be allowed to do it.
Yeah, but the powers that be know damn good and well right now that their voting is going to be so low. It's going to be there ain't going to be anybody voting because nobody is getting anything out of it anyway. The American public is, we're going broke. We're paying all of our money to fund all this bullshit. That's bullshit that nobody even asked us if it was okay or not. That's the part that's really shitty.
Well, I don't think you're correct on people not going to go and vote. I fully believe that they're going to go out in droves and vote. Absolutely.
I don't think so.
I'm seeing everyone. I mean, Trump's talking about he's booking Madison Square Gardens to have a rally.
Well, you know what? I don't think Trump.
He's filling these fucking places up with people outside.
But Trump is not going to be able to be reelected. They will not let him be reelected. I'm telling you that right now. Mark my words. I'm saying it right now.
I'm interested to see what happens. Nothing's off the table.
Well, guess what? The next time they try to kill him, they'll do it for real.
Nobody's tried to kill him. Nobody's tried to kill him.
Well, the fake assassination attempt, which as far as I'm concerned, is just as bad as an insurrection. Period.
Well, we didn't have that either.
Well, we had one that they claimed that that's what I'm saying.
They called it.
It's the same as that.
I mean, have you ever seen an insurrection? I mean, really? It's not that. Okay, a self-guided tour where the police let you in and unlock doors for you is
Well,
not an insurrection, bro.
No,
When
but they
there's an
unzipped
insurrection, there's people storming into the building, hauling
Right.
out government officials and executing them. Okay, that's what really happens. Okay, that was nothing more than a self-guided tour of the Capitol building.
And the reason those things were all bolted off and boarded up and everything is because they haven't used those buildings in forever. I don't think any of those buildings, like they've got 5 or 6 different layers of Constantine wire around the Capitol and all those other places. They got them all boarded off, and nobody can go in there, and nobody's going in or out of there. It's not like it used to be. We don't get to see what a normal day in Washington D.C. is to these days. After COVID.
Well,
So
I could easily drive up there and look and see that, because I don't know. I see videos, but I see videos of all kinds of shit. I mean, I just saw a video of a fucking Mecha Godzilla catching a fucking rocket ship, or some shit from Elon Musk, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Right. So, somebody shows a video on TikTok of this, that, and the other. You got to keep in mind, do I know this to be a fact? I found often, we saw what the news media did to us in the last, during the pandemic, people showed these people in the hospitals and all that shit, and people went there and the hospitals weren't full. It was a lie, So you have to be careful with these people.
Same thing with the World Trade Center. Same thing with the 9/11. 9/11 is the same thing. It was all bullshit. It was all staged.
Well, just like the shooting at Butler, Pennsylvania, where Trump, almost died for our sins. That was a big orchestrated bunch of shit too. That wasn't real. People are believing it. And when you ask him, say, you know what? Let's look at this shit logically, man. Here's the biggest piece. One of the biggest things, there was no trauma to his ear.
No.
That was even consistent with what the doctor said on the interview, that there was a 2-centimeter area scooped out consistent with a bullet round, with a rifle round. Oh, okay. 2 centimeters. That's almost 3/4 of an inch, man. That's good size comparatively to an ear, right?
Well, and just the sealing up of it alone, unless they're using special lasers or something trying to heal the surface, that's a lot of ear to be gone.
Cartilage doesn't grow back, and they don't have special lasers that's gonna fucking heal you up like Star Trek and shit. It doesn't work that way, man.
Well, like I said, we don't know. We don't know. That's a year. That's 100 years of information that we don't have right now, as far as technology is concerned.
They don't got that, and they ain't gonna certainly use it on Trump and his little thing. He knows that his fucking people, and he said this. He could fucking stab, so he could cut a baby's throat in front of the fucking people, and they'd still go ahead and fucking vote for him. I mean, that's for real. I believe that. And listen, this is what they're after. You want to hear what they're after? Listen, this is old. This is hard to come by. And I'm going to have to download this so I can put this in my archive. But we remember this guy, right?
For the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. The order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign. And for the international order.
So you have to surrender your shit up to the government in order for what the fuck?
That was fake. That was fake.
You can see that. I remember when he said it. I remember when he said it.
I don't know. I can tell you the mouth didn't match that video.
No, the audio, that's not synced up correctly. I can agree with you on. But I remember him saying this 100%.
I don't recall that.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that I never witnessed it. I don't remember him saying that.
Oh, I was watching that motherfucker like a hawk, man.
I don't put it past him.
Good old Barry Soetoro. Fuck yes. I was watching him like a hawk. You got to be shitting me. Yeah, here's where the thing, this was 17 hours ago. Okay, so this is the top 5 is global headlines you didn't hear about this week. Okay, and the top one, let me go over to this one, is that, let me bring this up. Right here it said that the top, it says 5, Israel bombed the United Nations headquarters in Lebanon. And I told you about that. And then, of course, we've got down here, he talks about that. Let's listen to it.
Opened fire at the Israel has just bombed the United Nations in Lebanon twice in 2 days. The UN said an Israeli tank opened fire at the UN peacekeeping headquarters in Lebanon, injuring 2 members. Now, something important to know, the UN also said that the Israeli soldiers opened fire on the CCTV cameras first, presumably to hide their actions when they opened fire on the UN headquarters. Now, even in the report...
Sneaky little bastards. Always with the sneaky shit.
It said that it's incredibly rare for a UN member to open fire on UN peacekeeping forces. So this really is a huge deal. It's worth knowing, however, that multiple members of the UN have already condemned this, including France, Turkey, and Canada, and many others. There is some small positive news, though. The UN spoke on the soldiers who were hit by the Israeli forces, and they said, quote, their injuries are not serious, but they remain in hospital. So luckily nobody's died, except still Israel opened fire onto a UN peacekeeping force. And now this leaves the question of how will the UN respond to this? Will their members place sanctions onto Israel? Will they move in and do other things? Truthfully, we can only really wait and see. If you were to ask my opinion, though, I would say that I don't actually think the UN is going to do anything other than just publicly condemn this. But you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.
Huh. Ain't that some crazy shit? Right?
Yeah, but like I said, we don't hear anything. I mean, even with all the communications that we have right now and all the technology, even we don't even know what the real is because everything's been hidden and covered up because of the news and shit.
There's Melodome showing up in here. What's up, bro? What's happening, Austin? You'll want to join me and Austin and Mike and Jaron tomorrow night at 7:20 Eastern, 4:20 Pacific for Reefer Roulette. There are prizes, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I wasn't too high, we had a carryover, so it's going to be pretty good little pot, little kitty in the pot there for the amount of for prizes. So you want to check that up, y'all. Get yourself, you can take that money, turn around, get yourself a nice THC t-shirt or a Melodome hoodie. Get yourself one of these fine ass fake X hats, man. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm good at this. So Israel arrested an American journalist. Now, this is number 4. Israel arrested an American journalist for reporting on the war. So nothing like free speech. Oh, they're our ally. They're a democratic nation in the region and shit, right?
Israel just arrested an American journalist for reporting on the war. Israel said that he was arrested for, quote, reporting on where missiles landed in the attack launched by Iran. And Israel said that this reporting endangered national security, which coincidentally is exactly what he was arrested and charged with. Now, the journalist that was arrested was called Jeremy Lofredo, and some of you may know the organization he was with, which is called the Grey Zone. It's worth noting, though, that it appears he's been released under investigation, which means he's allowed to walk around, but he's not allowed to leave Israel. Now, the US is yet to speak on this, even though it's an American citizen who's been arrested, and this is actually quite unusual. And that's because the US are usually the first ones to speak when a country like Russia does the same thing. For example, as mentioned in the same report I've got this information from, Joe Biden was the first one to speak when Evan Gershkovich was arrested by Russia for doing something similar. But regardless, Israel has arrested an American journalist for reporting on the war and reporting on attacks that successfully hit Israel. But you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.
So this is some crazy shit going on, man. Let me pop this.
Israel just arrested an American journalist.
We heard you the first fucking time. So here's another. Hezbollah in Lebanon launched their largest ever attack on Israel on the anniversary of the attacks as well. Let me bring this up real quick. Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? They want to start a war on every front around them, man.
Hezbollah has just fired over 100 rockets at Israel's most important city, Haifa, making it the largest attack on Haifa since the start of the war. Not only that, but this comes exactly a year on the anniversary of Hezbollah starting their attacks on Israel last October the 8th. Now, actually, a lot of these rockets hit their targets, and they did quite a bit of damage, except it's worth knowing that the Iron Dome did also manage to intercept quite a few of them as well. Now, Hezbollah hasn't really said much about this attack. They released a short statement confirming that it was them, but outside of that, they didn't say much, except this does show that Hezbollah isn't trying to de-escalate the situation. It seems like they're just trying to prove a point that the war is still going after a year.
Jeez.
Now, so far, it doesn't seem like anybody has died from the attacks, and it's unlikely that Israel is going to announce anything. However, I do personally expect that Israel is going to continue their attacks on southern Lebanon, and that the war is only really going to escalate. But regardless, on the anniversary of Hezbollah starting their attacks on Israel, Hezbollah has launched the biggest ever rocket attack on Israel's most important city, Haifa. But you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.
Global.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There will be wars and rumors of wars in the last days that we are in right now.
Well, here is Russia has started evacuating its citizens from Lebanon due to the escalation in the war as well. And North Korea has sent troops to Russia to help fight Ukraine. What?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, this is starting to look like maybe World War is underway.
For the first time, North Korea is going to be sending troops to Russia to help them fight Ukraine. After Putin visited in July, North Korea has announced that they're going to be sending troops to the Donbass region of Ukraine to help the Russian forces. The US has responded to this, and they said that these troops are going to be, quote, slaughtered. The US Department of Defense said, quote, if I were a member of the North Korean military, I would question the wisdom of being sent to Ukraine to participate in an unlawful war in Eastern Europe. And it's worth noting that the US and most of NATO has already accused North Korea of sending weapons and ammunition to Russia. But for the first time, North Korea has officially announced their military support for Russia. And another first time, this will actually be the first time that North Korea has ever sent troops outside of the Korean Peninsula to help fight a war. Now, according to the report, the military units that are going to be sent are military engineering units, and they're going to be sent to the Donetsk region of Ukraine. Now, these troops appear to have already arrived. The South Korean defense minister says this, and a few sources in Ukraine have also said this. But with North Korea doing this, it shows that they are not afraid of NATO or the US. And it also shows that North Korea must have a stronger military than when they previously fought wars, as they're prepared to now help other countries fight their wars. But as this escalates, I'll definitely keep you updated, so leave me a follow for some more global news like this.
Oh man, I got North Korea now. I heard something about North Korea had actually blown up their roads going into South Korea that crossed in through the DMZ. It's like, what?
Yeah. If you look at all those places that were being bombed, or the areas that are being bombed, they're all retaining resources. Just like South Carolina and their lithium mines. Yeah. They're doing all that shit on purpose. They got reasons for it. Every place you see any turmoil, anybody who's coming together to fight against somebody else, it's all about resources. It's either
Well, yeah,
oil.
99% of the time, that's what the shit is about. Where
Yeah.
is that, Rod?
Somebody doesn't get their piece of the pie and they get screwed out of something, and then they just start fighting. And you don't know all these little ass tribes and shit, and in Iran and Iraq and all them areas with Syria and all them guys. Shit.
Oh, that's not the one. Damn it.
I mean, you could literally be there and not know what's going on.
Oh, I know. Where is that? I showed that just a little while ago. I thought I saved it. Damn it. It was this dumb girl. I was like, how is this is the type of people that we have gonna go out and they're making decisions and shit. And this broad, she didn't have quarters for the washing machine. So she was like, where do I get quarters? So she went on Amazon and she thought that she was going to get 72 rolls of quarters for $10. And she sent in the $10, the $10 and got back a box with 72 rolls for quarters to go in. And she was pissed off because there was no quarters in it. And I was like, what in the fuck are you thinking, man? You thought you was going to get $720 worth of fucking quarters for $10? What's wrong with your mind, man? I was like, I can't believe some of these people, man. How dumb they actually are. I'll have to find that again for you and send that to Melodome for his show with the Clown World shit that he does with Tyler, because that's perfect. That was Cloud Star. That was him. That was that. Let's see. That was those headlines. Blah blah blah. There's this one. Oh yeah. Here's another one. Check this out. I thought this was kind of funny. I don't know if this is staged or not. It probably is, but check it out.
Leave me alone. Why do you keep following me? It's honestly so creepy, and I'm gonna call the cops. Okay?
Man, no.
Because you guys aren't leaving me alone, and that's why women can't go out in the world by themselves because of guys like you.
What?
Okay, so stop following me.
You have I don't know if you have like gas. You have a thing hanging out of your car.
What are you talking about?
There's literally a gas hose hanging out of your car. No one's being creeped. Oh, no, thank you. I guess. There's the thank you. That's she's what? She's taking it with her. She doesn't have
Thank you to get all of it.
Wow, dude. Nice. You didn't even close the gas can.
She's out here.
Jesus Christ. Pissed off at him because she left a gas thing in her car. She fully thought that guy was chasing her down or whatever, and she got pissed off because it wasn't.
Was it a gas can? I couldn't see it. Was it a gas can or was it a hose?
No, it was the hose, man. It was the hose from the pump.
So she drove away from a gas pump with the hose in the thing?
Yeah, man. When it was going down the road and this guy was trying to flag her down to tell her about it, and she thought he was stalking her and shit.
Yeah.
And
wow.
It was so vain. She was pissed off that he wasn't stalking her, and she was mad because of her own mistake. Oh, thank you. You got all pissy. You got back in the car.
How could you drive away from a pump and not know that you ripped the fucking thing out of the machine?
I can't. I've done that. I did that one time.
Yeah, you might have done it, but you knew damn good and well when you did it before you got off the property.
Yeah, I heard something. I was like, what the fuck is that dragging noise going on? But she probably might have had, you got to think probably a young girl like that probably got her fucking music up. She's probably not real bright, pretty vapid to begin with, and doesn't know like the girl that tried to buy the quarters, right? That's wow, that chick was really stupid. I couldn't believe that. Yeah, here's the thing about that is North Korea prepares for war. They blow up the roads and rails that used to connect the North and South. Kim Jong-un has ordered artillery units to move near the border with readiness to engage if the U.S. starts a war with Iran. So, see, this is all connected. It's all connected. We start some shit with Iran, or we go in on Israel's behalf, and the bullshit in North Korea. You realize that war is not over. The Korean War is not over. It's just a ceasefire. That's all. It's not over. It's just one of the biggest, longest ceasefires that's ever been.
That's stupid. It was a dumb war anyway.
Well, it wasn't none of our business to begin with, but it was all part of that domino effect of communism. Figure it spread down from China into Korea, and then it was going to go to this place and that. It hurt our interests, the United States interests in those areas. Well, not the United States interests, the United States corporations, Western corporations.
Yeah, but weren't that
in those areas? Yeah.
Well, wasn't the Korean War a bunch of opium infiltration from there? Weren't we getting opium from there?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, that
was more
that
Vietnam.
That was the only reason why they did any fighting back then.
Well, no, Korea is not really known for its opium. That's not the right type of region.
Yeah. They had something to fight over.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but it was the infiltration of communism. There was an idea that there was this domino effect of communism that would spread around the world. And that if we let it spread, if we didn't help the Koreans fight off communism, that it would spread to other countries. Well, all they did was they ceasefire after about halfway through it, the 48th parallel. And like I said, it's just been the longest ceasefire. There's not been a actual cease to tensions. That's why it's called the demilitarized zone along that area.
Yeah.
It's been a tenuous situation. A lot of people, because it's been going on for so long, nobody pays any attention to it, you know.
Well, what the hell's going on? Well, what's going on in North Korea, or what has South Korea done to make them want to close the borders off?
They're getting their artillery ready because the South Korea is an ally of the United States. We have military presence in South Korea, and that makes, if the United States goes to, and of course North Korea is an ally of Iran. So kind of like the same thing of how we ended up at war with Germany because of the declaration of war on Japan. Because of the alliance. It's a slick end run around for us to get in to help Churchill setting up that attack.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all old bullshit. Doesn't have anything to do with what's going on now. We got a whole hell of a lot more things to worry about than this. I don't understand it.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of things to worry about in the world outside of fighting. You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, it's always been this shit. It's always been this.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's half the problem. You ain't got to tell me there's no reason to have wars like this for any reason. And what did it start? What is it actually? What was the catalyzing agent that was involved there? The catalyzing agent for that was the supposed October 7th attack. What spawned that? You start looking at that powder keg right there, and you can fully understand what's actually going on. We've been supporting the wrong people, man, for a long time. But of course, that would stand to reason, because here we are thinking we're this benevolent, wonderful United States, America, the bastion of freedom and all that, and we're not.
Everybody hates it.
Yes, of course, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
And rightfully so. We are really a bully on the world stage. You know,
Well,
I mean, who the fuck are we to tell people what in other countries what they can and can't do, or we'll come over and fucking hit you with a bomb or some shit, you know? I mean, where's is that? That's really
we've become as low as Canada.
What's that?
We're just as low as Canada.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, it's just like anytime it all depends on where you stand. And I don't support anything that my government does. I do not support anything that the government of this place where I live does. I don't sanction that. If you say that's unpatriotic, okay. I at least have got the moral high ground because I don't support the evil shit that they do on a daily basis. And I don't give a crap whose ass sits in that seat on Pennsylvania Avenue. There's still people in other lands that die every day as a result of the motherfuckers sending out drones and bombing strikes and all kinds of other bullshit out on the world stage. And the people that we do it to don't dare retaliate because they know that the full might of the United States military will come down on them. And that's just fucking bullshit, man. So you sit back and say, oh, I support my troops and I support my military and all this other bullshit. Fuck you.
I don't support any of it.
Not if that's their mission.
I mean, we can't even get our own fucking military to keep our own border fucking straight. What the hell are we doing somewhere else?
Well, that's the whole point. They don't want our borders straight.
Well, I know that, but my point is why in the fuck? What do we do about it? You can't tell me that November 2nd isn't going to do shit for it.
Well, no, of course not. But people believe that it will, and therefore it acts as a sort of pressure gauge, a pressure valve, so to speak.
Yeah,
but,
so we got something else to focus on, so they can fuck us somewhere else.
Well, yeah, but here's the problem. They got two juggernaut pressure systems that are about to meet each other. There's not going to be a relief. Because let's look at it this way. Look at all the fucking freak out that's going to happen. And who knows how bad it could be if Trump is elected or selected. Okay. If Trump is selected, what's that going to do? Think about that. What's all the war game it? Think about the possible implications that could occur, right? And then turn around and think about if Harris wins and what the possible implications of that could be. So it's going to be a fucking shit show regardless. It's going to be a shit show regardless. You can guarantee that. Absolutely 100% you can guarantee that. So
well, I'm thinking there's going to be a cataclysmical something. They're going to fire up that thing in Antarctica or something, and they're going to fuck us all up before November 5th. That's what I think.
Nah. Listen, they got everybody exactly right where they want them to be. They really do. They really do. And proof of that is the fact that I'm seeing so many getting worked up about what's going to happen if this guy gets in, what's going to happen if this chick gets in, blah, 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 blah. Listen, here's what's going to happen. Whatever is scripted is going to happen. Whatever they have scripted is what's going to happen. And you ain't got fucking jack shit to do with it. You never have. You never have. You just feel like you do.
Like I said, why go vote?
That's why I say I don't want either one of them. I don't need a president. I don't even subscribe to anything of this fucking shit. Greg says everything is predetermined. That's absolutely right. Hell yeah, Snoopy for president. Sidewinder's got it going on. What else we got going on over here? I'd vote for Snoopy before I'd vote for one of these worst choices. Look. And the thing is, you know, it seems like the people that are glomming onto the turd sandwich with ketchup because it doesn't taste so bad is the one without. How they've lost their fucking critical thinking skills altogether. You know, they're just going to overlook this and believe in this assassination attempt and this idea that there's a deep state coming for them, and Donald Trump's going to save them from the deep state, and he's playing 5D fucking chess and all this other nonsense. Holy crap, man. Y'all going to have to wake up from that. You know, I mean, you know, if you could think of a food that you don't like, you absolutely have a problem trying to eat a certain kind of food, right? And the only choice you have of anything to eat is that food that you really hate, it upsets your stomach, and on the other plate is a turd. Of course, that's going to steer you toward the food, even though it's food that you don't really want, and it hurts your stomach. It does gives you diarrhea, but it was still food. It wasn't shit. And that's what I think the whole push to have this brain dead. I heard her here recently. She had a fucking Jamaican accent all of a sudden. And it was like, holy crap, man. She's gone from Indian to black to Jamaican.
She's serving for votes because she's losing all these parties and everything. She's losing everybody. So she's trying to reach out to whatever fucking party she can get to vote for. She's serving for minorities.
Listen to this off the chart shit.
And in order to... Guys, we should just be about 50 seconds away from
this is real.
It's going to happen in 3 phases. We're going to land in 13 engines, burn off all of that velocity. Oh,
and of course, it comes out of a cloud, right?
You can see it coming down through the plume.
Booster coming in hot for booster touch. And they ignite 13 of those Raptor engines, and this view is incredible right now.
The fuck is that?
You can see how fast this vehicle is moving on the left hand. We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now.
Now, who was cheering? Who was doing all that cheering? And look at here. I want you to look on this guy's cell phone right here. Okay, look on that guy's cell phone. If you can see, where's the fire? Where's the fire on his cell phone? Where the fuck is the fire on his cell phone at? And these other people that I saw in the other videos, they're not even filming anything. They got like regular fucking screen up on their phone. I'm like, come on, man. People believe in that shit.
Not just that, but like it took 33 boosters for the thing to take off. But then they're saying it only took 3 to land it back, you know, and it's like going straight up and down. Like, how do they direct it to? It'd be like a pencil, you know, trying to get a pencil back in a slot. If you like threw it up and like used whatever to get the pencil back down where it is, it's like it's so impossible for that to happen. The way it lands, it looks like they just pressed rewind on the movie and brought it back into like the beginning position.
That was so dumb. That looked like out of one of those. I don't know if you probably ain't old enough. When I was a kid, there was this TV show came from Japan. There was called Johnny Sacco, and he had this giant robot that he could command. He was this little Japanese kid, and he had this wristwatch he could command, and they had these rockets and shit that would land like that. I mean, it looked like Team America. Remember Team America?
That's what it reminds me of, Team America.
Look on their phones. What the fuck? Where's this big cloud at? See this huge cloud that these people have on their screen? Where the fuck is that at?
It's clearly a litmus test. You know,
God, yes.
To see where everyone's at. And and just what amazes me too is that so many, especially the liberal crowd, can't stand Elon Musk. So like you'd think they'd be jumping at any little angle that they could go at him to like just bury the guy. And so like, but they won't come to the terms that his rocket program is fake, because then it goes at NASA and everything else. And so they still have to, give him credit and attributions for the SpaceX program, even though it's clear as day that it's just clown world.
I know. And now all of a sudden we've got Touchdown Tim. Okay. We've gone from tampon Tim Walz to touchdown Tim Walz, because apparently he was taking young boys with him to China. China.
Yeah, I was reading like a Drudge Report, which used to be more right leaning with their reporting. Now they've turned into like a total just leftist propaganda news page. And so like they really go anti-Trump and throw shade on all these stories that are trying to like like with that Tim story, they're trying to dissect the guy's Twitter page to like basically discredit him. But this one show I watch, it's called Flecka's Talks. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's hilarious to watch. So like they break down the news every week, and it's very comedy oriented. This big guy named Fleckas, and but they talk about how Tim Walz is so flaily with his arms, like he's always flailing around, like he can't stand still. And he's like, or floppy. That's what they say is floppy, flopping around. But
oh my god, yeah, he was well, see, the age of consent in China at that time was 14. And so he was taking these boys over. They took them to Indigo Girls concert. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I feel like we're gonna see some news stories just dropping left and right here as we get closer to the big day. Like we're building up to like, whatever's coming is it's gonna be like nothing else. Right now we're just in such a calm period. Even though there's crazy things happening in the news, like something's around the corner. Because
I feel like it too, man.
Either team that wins, it's not going to be a good outcome. Like I just don't want it to happen at all. I was watching where
he says floppy armed knucklehead, Dr. Bass.
Floppy Tim Walz. He's the whole deal, though. I was watched this one guy, JWTV, and he was talking about how like they passed this bill today where they're allowed to fire on U.S. citizens after the election, and basically take people out if there's any type of protests or whatever for the election. So. Yeah, I think that's their ultimate goal. Either side's going to be not going to accept the outcome of the other side. And, there's a lot of people who are in office right now that even if Trump did win, I think they're going to put up all these roadblocks to make it very difficult for him to actually take the office back. And so it's going to cause the conflict that they're looking for him. And what pisses me off is I tell so many people that I'm not going to vote, and then they get pissed off at me like I'm going to vote for Trump. They're like, they basically tell me like a non-vote is a vote for Trump. And I'm like, first off, I live in Oregon, which is already a blue state. And so I'm like, it really doesn't matter one way or the other if I vote or not. Like my vote does not count whatsoever. Maybe for like local office, it might have a minute impact, but I seriously doubt it, because I think the whole thing is rigged. From from the the local offices all the way up. Everyone is selected, but yeah, especially being in a blue state, for people to get mad at me like I'm voting for Trump when I say I'm not gonna vote, and yeah, it's people just can't understand. Even I've had deep conversations with people who are really into this political game where they're, encourage people to vote and actually make phone calls to people and whatnot. And they even know that the politics are corrupt and it's all rigged system. And but yet they still play the game. I'm like, well, if you know it's fake, or you know that the whole system is rigged, yet you still give your consent to it, then it's like,
it blows my mind, man. It blows my fucking mind. It was like, okay, so do you watch Brian Young?
No.
Here's the Deal channel, High Impact Flicks.
I watch High Impact.
All right.
Yeah.
So, man, he's on that same, just blows my mind. He was asking these people at a March for Our Lives rally. That was these people wanting to take the guns, right? A lot of people with the pussy hats and everything walking around. And he'd ask him, he says, well, how do you want to get rid of the guns? And they're like, have the government take them from people. And so, well, how do you want people to take it from them? Well, you have the police go. And he's like, okay, so you want men with guns to go in and criminalize people who have guns. Do you trust the government? And so you want the government to take guns? And they're like, yes. And they're like, do you trust the government? And he said, no. He's like, so you think the government should be the only ones, the people in the government that have guns? And yes. Do you trust your government? No. But that's what you want the government to do, is come and take everybody's fucking gun. I mean, it's just like, woo!
Yeah, there's no logic whatsoever. People have just been so dumbed down and docile. And
dude, I'm looking forward to it. He went to the Trump rally, and he posted this on Twitter, and he's going to be doing like man on the street type interviews and shit. People at the Trump rally. And this is him and his girlfriend. They're going on their way to the rally. This was kind of cute. I liked how he did this.
Where are we going, babe?
We are going to see Trump.
It's our first Donald J. Trump rally. Make America great again. This is the most important election of our lifetimes. Kamala Harris can't win. If she does, it's World War III and America's doomed. Go Trump!
Go Trump!
Where are we going?
What he says, just two super stoked Trump nerds looking forward to our first Trump rally. Hope they're serving our favorite flavored Kool-Aid. I was like, yeah, right on, bro. What's going on, Snowman?
What up?
Little vapes, man. These are a trip. These things here, man.
You know what's funny is, like, just in the news, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Kamala released her medical records, right? And then she was, challenging Trump to, saying, why doesn't he do the same? And it's like, well, why hasn't Biden released his for all the way up until now? And now she's acting like it's all special to release her medical records. And it's like, it's such nonsense.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're the healthiest fucking person in the world. The truth of the matter is really this. And this is why I can't wrap. I've tried to war game what was going on in their heads, other than the fact that both supposed sides want Trump to be a shoo-in. So they had to make sure that who he went up against was a complete fucking devastation. Or they're just going to really piss everybody off, cheat, and put her the fuck in anyway, nobody likes her. That's the reality of it. Nobody likes her. She can't get the black vote. She can't get the Hispanic vote. Indian people hate her. Her family doesn't
Nobody liked freaking Biden either.
Oh, I mean, it's worse. It's worse. It's
Well,
worse with Harris because they're straight up saying, you know, I mean, where she really ruined it is her select an accent type fucking shit that she's doing, you know, like, oh, I'm talking to black people, well, I got to talk like I'm black. Oh, I'm talking to these people, I have to talk like this, you know. And then the most recent one was a Jamaican accent.
Yeah, I heard that.
It was,
I
I
like
thought
that,
about
though.
you. I thought about you, Rasta, when she did that. In fact,
Yeah, I
I was
heard
like,
that.
I
It's
gotta
hilarious.
send that to fucking Andrew. I gotta send that to him, man.
Yeah,
They
and then
hang
they
around
rolled
movies
out
too long.
Bill Clinton, I think, yesterday too, or the day before, and like I was shocked how horrible he looked and how bad he sounded. Like he
And
sounded like
he
worse than
threw
Biden.
her under the bus.
Yeah, he
He
did.
threw her under the fucking bus.
Yeah, Trump
dude.
turned it into like a one of his ads. Somebody said like, and you got to wonder if it's all intentional, you know, because you know the Cubies say that they already executed the Clintons years ago, and he could just be like an actor in the Bill skin suit or whatever. Who knows?
They gave him a skin suit. Whoever's playing him, that skin suit way too big for him. He's sagging like a droopy dog all over the place, man. He does. He looks bad. His mouth always hanging open. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked rough. I think that what's his name, Jimmy Carter, looks in better shape than he does.
Oh yeah, I saw that photo of him laying in bed there.
We went to see Iron Maiden last night here in
Oh
Portland.
no! Wow.
Yeah, it was a rad show. They had
Dude.
they had pyrotechnics and
Were they
and,
in fucking wheelchairs or walkers or anything?
no, it was amazing because I don't know how old those guys are. They said between them, they got like the Bruce, the singer, like between the lot of them, their age equals almost 400 years old, but like they were dancing around and jumping up and down like better than I ever could. Even like I was so shocked.
Cocaine's
like how
a hell of a drug. Oh.
yeah, had to have been something. They had something going on. Like they
Well,
were.
just to give you an idea, I know that more than 40 years ago, I went and saw them in concert. So yeah,
and they're still
been around a
they
little
still
bit.
sound great. Like I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, because they came out and like I was like, oh, this dude does look a bit old, but then he like
I was in high school when the Trooper came out, man. My life and I think yours too. Yeah, I love that jam.
Yeah, they were badass. Like it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. Like my daughter's real into them, and yeah,
You want to hear this is crazy. You know who Michael Rappaport is?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy should just shut the fuck up. I mean, for real. Every time he talks, he sounds fucking dumber than hell. Listen to this motherfucker.
We, the Jewish people, we are the chosen people. The Jews are the chosen people, and it is so apparent when you're in Israel, the Jewish land, and you're with the Jewish people of Israel, how magical we are. That's biblical shit, okay? That's biblical. You can't debate any of that. I want to make sure everybody knows that the Jews are the chosen people, and that's no disrespect to anything or anybody else, but the Jews are the chosen people, and Israel is ancient Judean Jewish land.
There is a man who is completely ignorant on that subject 100%.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not that. He's on the payroll, man. Did you see that thing?
What's sad?
Let me say about the pagers. The pagers went off, and he did a meme just laughing his ass off, going beep beep and laughing his ass off that same night.
Yeah, that was
sick. He's deep paid. Like he's the whole war that they're waging is demoralization. It's for guys like us to see it all, talk about it, but not really be able to do fuck all, and it's demoralizing is what it is. And that's part of this game that he's playing. He's definitely paid, man. I would think.
Well, what's sad is, that a lot of, the conservative Christian base, like they all think that Israel is that the same thing he says, basically. Like my uncle's a pastor of a big church, and he's taken his members of his congregation to Israel, I think like 7 or 8 times at this point. I've lost count how many times they go to Israel. It's like adult Disneyland for.
It's like this though. It's like this. What you said. You said a lot of people think, and here's the problem: a lot of people don't think. They just record. Okay, they don't think. They just record, and they select what to keep on record by their perception of who told it to them, and also what feels the best to them. Abject truth is not even part of the equation. This is why they can hold contradictory views at one time in their head, because they're not thinking. They're just recording and accessing data that they've received. That's all.
Yeah, easiest way.
They're not. And I just wanted to show this real quick. This guy, I showed the landing where the thing caught the rocket and all that fucking nonsense. Right. Okay. So this guy put up on here, he says, I usually don't post photos of myself, but at Techie Techs got this photo of me after I witnessed the booster catch, and I thought it captured my emotions better than words ever could. How can we articulate the magnitude of what we just witnessed? And look at this fucking guy. Tell me that that's not a religion, man. Tell me that that's not a religion. Come on, bro.
Yeah. No, I've never seen people act like that.
And this cheering that they dub in the background. There's all these people acting like they're losing their fucking mind. And it's like, that's a little over the top, It really is.
Yeah.
I don't think, there wasn't.
It's like they're going to line them up to go to Mars, and then they're just going to send them off and incinerate them or something, and then tell everybody else that they made it to Mars. Like,
yeah.
They could honestly, they could capture your entire video and all your actions and everything now, and then just have AI pretend that it's you. If they wanted to disappear somebody and tell them you're on Mars and make it look like the person went to Mars.
FaceTime, no problem, right?
Yeah, exactly. They could, do it just like, and then those robots that Elon just, premiered. Like, I have serious questions. If that was AI even talking back, or if there was just a video camera inside those, and there was some people in a command center that were just talking back to the people. I don't think that was AI. I think that was, they're basically just like remote control video monitoring the situation. Maybe they have like on gloves and everything where they can control the robots. But I don't think AI.
Are you talking about the iRobot looking ones? They're kind of skinny.
Yeah.
And I've seen them like pouring water.
Yeah,
I've never seen them speak.
Optimus.
Oh, I never seen them speak or anything.
Well, they just did this premiere party where like they were serving drinks and mingling.
Yeah.
He rolled out like a whole army of them. He said that they would be like
just like iRobot.
People's households here coming up for like $20,000 or $30,000 a pop, and that everybody will want to have one or two even.
Yeah, you want to get it cheap as a car.
They make the freaky deaky sex robot, the Black and Decker Pecker Record 5000.
Yeah, those will be available.
Yeah, redheads are sold out.
They probably already. Yeah, they're sold out already. They're on back order. They haven't even invented them yet. They're on back order. And this is the deluxe model. It makes sandwiches. Yes.
That's what I was going to say. It really hits like Idiocracy. Some of the shit, like the sky clappers, and like that video footage of the thing getting captured. Like, Is there no nose on that rocket? Like, I didn't even see it very good. It looks like a cigar.
That's
with
the
no nose on it.
booster. That's the booster. See?
Yeah,
Once
well,
that
without
goes up,
the thrusters on the top, there's no way. Like, without thrusters on the top, there's no way it's landing
well,
back.
you understand the whole reason for a booster, right? It's to carry
Yeah.
fuel.
Yeah, it's a shell, like a
take
casing in a
to
bullet
take-
almost.
It's to take the bullet, the ship up to at least a certain height, and then when it runs out of fuel, they drop it, and then the second stage kicks in, right?
Yeah.
So this thing
wanna
is
reuse it.
dropping. It's blowing off fuel to take the rocket up, but still holding on to enough so that it can come back and re-land. What?
It makes no sense. Like it would be more realistic if it shot off a parachute above it, you know, to kind of roast down or something, and then then it had like side burst rockets to kind of direct it. Then that might be more believable.
Well, they say that the nozzles on the bottom can do like this. Directions.
That should be easily developed. No matter how they
Snowman.
can turn.
Hold on, Snowman. If you got a cough, go ahead and mute while you're coughing.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Right on. So, yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. But if you want to test out how that works, take a cylinder of some sort, balance it on your finger, and then try to set it down someplace standing up. And see how much back and forth different movements you got to make and how radical those movements end up having to be to keep that top heavy ass thing from falling over this way. You won't do it. And you expect me to believe that 33 little thrusters down in here doing all that fucking shit and the amount of fuel and thrust it would take in order to slow that thing down to that point. Why bother having it as a booster to begin with? Where did it get its fuel from?
Yeah, well, that, and I was listening just a couple days ago. They were talking about that top secret spacecraft that's orbiting the Earth. It made some maneuvers to where it came back down into the Earth's out of orbit and then redirected its course. And there's no way it could do that without fuel.
Are you talking about that XB thing, that XB thing that they supposedly got a drone or whatever?
Yeah, it recorrected its course, and the way that they describe it, there's no way that could happen. And then there's this other story that happened just a couple of days ago, where people from North Carolina all the way up to Washington D.C. saw this huge craft get crash from the sky, and it didn't make mainstream news at all, but it was on Twitter. Where people saw this craft crash that was maybe shot down by like a stealth bomber or something. But yeah, it was all
Did it crash on land or in the ocean?
on land.
That wouldn't be too far from me.
No.
that'd be like an hour and a half north of me.
Yeah, there were a ton of people who saw it.
And
I
haven't seen nothing about that.
Yeah, it
I
didn't make.
did see somebody on YouTube had a thing up about this guy that reviews TikTok videos, and part of his thumbnail was UFO crashes in DC.
Yep.
Let's see if I can find anything on it.
There was a lot of people talking about it, but yeah, it didn't make any news whatsoever. And it was fascinating because so many people saw it.
UFO Washington.
And there's some people that are saying that comet that people are seeing right now, that's not a comet, that's some type of craft.
You sure it is? Hello, Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, I mean it could be.
Here's the thing. It's 7 hours ago. Let me see if I can chair that. This was a helicopter that was in some of the videos. This is a DC police helicopter, and it was searching for a car that was involved in a carjacking. But I don't know about the UFO crash. It seems likely they would have had more. Okay, so he doesn't have anything. UFO crash and large law enforcement presence reported following alleged crash in Washington. Oh, wait a second. I did hear about a house explosion up in Prince William County, which is up near DC. Let me see. Let me see.
Oh, here, if you type in craft crash and then North NC for North Carolina, and then go to the latest, then there's a video on it on Twitter.
Okay, wait, I found one here too. Let me see what this looks like.
I don't know what that is.
Whoa.
What?
That's crazy. I didn't think that.
Have you ever seen something like this? A Capitol Hill police? Man. Everywhere, what's going on? And it's quiet, as if they're waiting for something, expecting something, preparing for something.
Those are all cops just sitting in the car. What?
You got all this? What's going on here? Let's go. Let's turn around and look at that again. Man, turn around and look at that. Let them see it. What's going on here? Oh, my. I'm gonna figure, huh? I mean, it's as if the entire law enforcement force is here early in the morning. I'll get back to you, okay? I'll get.
What the
how
fuck?
did this not make any mainstream news? I mean, that was huge. Crafting this guy.
I don't know, man. Here's pictures. Yeah, I did hear about a house explosion up in Northern Virginia, but that's let's see video. There's a video about it. Hang on a second. Let's see what it says. I'm bringing this up. Crazy.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
This ain't the one. We want the one from DC, fucktards. That's June the 8th. I gotta look at these dates. Here's October the 13th. Let's see this one. What is going on in DC and North Carolina? And now Texas. New footage from Big Bend National Park in Southwest Texas. UFO crash landing, comet, or SpaceX. Well, let's take a look. Make it big. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Is it a plane crash?
What the heck is that?
Now, where's that being filmed from?
Texas.
It's like something.
Okay, so that would be almost like the same thing they're seeing in DC.
Left.
Because it would be dark in DC by that time, and it looked like
Well,
similar.
they're seeing one there. There was another one. Where did it say? What did it say here? It said new footage, Big Bend National, DC, North Carolina, and now Texas. See, if the same one that was seen in North Carolina is the one that crashed in DC, I would imagine the DC area, meaning like what I was saying, where that house exploded in Prince William County. There was a lot of law enforcement around that. I'm going to see if I can find where. I'm going to look here real quick and see maybe in my history, because a guy sent it to me in my text, and then I looked. I don't know if I opened it up in my app or not. Let me see.
Most of the stars are UFOs anyways. If you stare at them, they move around and shit.
Yeah, see, this
one
one,
like different colors.
Hang on. See, okay, this is they saying it was a gas line or something. Now this is up in Prince William County. Let me stop that screen and do this one. We got sound. I don't know. Don't look
Honestly,
like
that could maybe be the crash site, and then they're just saying it's a house explosion or something.
Yeah. Supersonic
Yeah,
missile,
no,
house
no,
explosion,
no.
same thing.
Something crashed there.
This was just a live feed that they had going to this shit, so I don't know.
That's what it looks like. Something crashed there. Unless they showed the house like earlier on, but
Do you remember that footage that was circulating of a house that blew up? It was like this year sometime.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah,
going
that's what
on.
I said to the guy that sent me this. I was like, wait, that sounds, and it was in the same area.
Yeah. When I watched that video, I was like, yeah, that was a supersonic missile. They didn't want that guy to come out. I was like, the end of that.
So I don't know,
It's a
man.
standoff over. It's like a Chinese standoff with the guys with supersonic missiles. Who's going to win? It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, I guess.
See, best thing to do is over here to update. This was one of the videos from the DC UFO crash. This is a flyover. Okay, and wow, that's really weird looking. Watch this. This is crazy.
Fucking Phoenix looking thing again. Yeah.
wow.
Now, see, those look like jets with streamers on them or something to me. No, they don't. It doesn't look like a UFO. It looks like something dropping flares.
Yeah.
Well, they said it was like a big giant aircraft like that, and from what I saw, they said they saw it go down, but I don't know.
Oh wait, we might have something here.
I get buzzed up here where I live by like I don't even know what it is, but it's a cargo plane, all gray, no markings to speak of whatsoever, and it almost looks aquatic, like this plane. But yeah, it was 300 feet, 300 feet above down, just like rocking the windows, doing 300 miles an hour or whatever it was doing, just cruising slow. What do they call them? The ghost planes. Yeah, there's like this ghost plane phenomenon now. It's like this great big like seaplane looking thing, all gray.
Let's see, what's this? It says, hold on one sec here.
And the engines are so far out in front of it, it literally looks like it's on stilts. Each engine looks like it's like on a fucking railroad.
Yeah, here's a YouTube video about it too, man. Crash landing in Washington, D.C. is very strange, it says. I'm going to put this down here in the chat if anybody wants to watch that.
Yeah, no, it's a wild deal. There's what?
It's nuts.
Many
it's
wild
nothing
things.
Futs.
Yeah.
It's nothing futs, man.
A lot going on. Like you showed those videos of North Korea blowing up their roads and stuff going to South Korea. That's and then in China's doing a military drill right now around Taiwan where they have the island surrounded with their ships. And so like because when it all pops off, it's all going to happen simultaneously. They're going to go for Taiwan the same time that the thing with Iran pops off and the North and South Korea thing, and then whatever is going to happen here. You know, they're going to plan it to where it all happens simultaneously.
Could be bad. Yeah, well, maybe. I'll tell you one thing. I can tell you this right now. We're not going to fare very well in this whole thing. We really are not. We are not, as far as this country is concerned. First of all, we can't afford it. Okay, that's just all there is to it. We cannot afford it.
Well, and they've spread our military so thin, none of them are here on the home front. They sent the Tennessee National Guard to like Kuwait, right before the hurricane hit, or the same day that they should have been here, like helping out with local resources and relief for the hurricane. They were in Kuwait, and so all the military are so spread out, and like all of our adversaries know exactly where our aircraft carriers are sitting. A lot of them are like in the Strait of Hormuz or other places, and
there's no defense from the Iranian hypersonic missile.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, you're done with that.
I think even Iran, they released drone footage of all of our aircraft carriers, and they released them to the public just to be like, look, here we know exactly where all of your carriers are sitting right now.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to press one button, they could just all go bye-bye.
Yep.
And and I feel like that was all part of the setup, because like you say, like it's not like if we were actually putting forth a fighting effort, this is not the strategy that we would take, to try and fight a proper battle against anyone. This is clearly a situation of being sold out from the inside, from our governing officials that took deals, with these other countries and sold us under the bus, via Israel. Though, Israel has, the Greater Israel Plan, which you've seen that map, of like they have all this land that they're after, and it'll be interesting to see.
Psychological conditioning.
I know about it. I like talking about it. You think that it'll come to North America, though? You really think, you foresee that they'll ever end up fighting wars on our shores, man?
Of course.
Yes, I think that we're one of the main targets. Honestly, like we are one of the main targets in this whole situation, because between us and Israel, like we're either going to become like Israel and they're going to try to install the Noahide laws here, and make that type of scenario.
Yeah, if you think about like real warfare, though, like real warfare, you don't blow up hospitals. You know what I mean? Like you maybe assassinations are effective, right? On this hypothetical video game we're talking about, a little bit better when you're actually can shoot with a shit. But there's certain ways to change policies in countries, and like I'm sorry to be mean about it, but we're still talking like the American military and the Canadian military are two different things, and not all these borders are anything, man. Like,
well,
the people playing with these pawns are going to put everybody into the battlefield until they're the last ones left. Like,
well, the reality of it is that the consent of most Americans at this juncture right now is they don't want any part of what's going on over there. Okay. They don't want any part of our politicians talk one thing, but the consensus amongst the populace is not favorable toward action in either of these theaters, any of them. Okay. Now, as far as will there be war on American soil? Will there be combat here? Yeah, absolutely. It would be naive to think that there wouldn't be. There has been in the past, and there will be again. What the actual angle of it will be, that's up for anyone's guess.
Yeah, I think they'd have to blow us up. They'd have to blow us up from within. I think they'd have to do it themselves.
Well, yeah, think about all the
they're already doing that. They're already doing that.
Yeah, all the like there's people have theorized that there could be like millions of foreign troops here in civilian clothing right now that are just here waiting for their waiting for the green light, and who knows,
I
think it's naive to not think that that's a possibility, though, to see that for what it is,
it's going to I mean, what the hell? We've been doing it. ever since we've been a country. We've been going off to other people's lands and killing them, and for the most part, outside of a few of the domestic things that have happened, like the Civil War of 1812, that kind of thing, the United States has enjoyed, and Canada as well, a relatively unscathed, unaffected consequence of our involvement in these foreign places, just because of the difficulty it was to reach here. But that's over now. They've firmly implanted what they need to right here within our own government, just like Khrushchev said they would do when he was arguing with Kennedy.
We've always been touchable, though, man. It only takes one man with a certain amount of willpower. I mean, our domestic terrorists have shown us that, if nothing else.
Well, what our domestic terrorists? Which
Whoever,
domestic?
whatever patsy that they put up, like, you know,
Yeah.
like people have done more damage with, people from America have done more damage with bombs in that country than, you know, terrorists, quote unquote, unless you believe in 9/11 and a few other ones.
Well, I mean,
there was a terrorist attempt on on World Trade Center a couple
all
times.
you have to do, let's not forget, all the way back to Nero, the burning of Rome. Okay, that was a fucking false flag to blame on Christians, to start the persecution of the Christians. 100%. That's why he was so happy. He just he didn't want to do anything about the fires. He blamed it on the Christians. I mean, always look at 9/11. Oh, cool. Now we've got a never-ending war going on in the Middle East that we can be involved in. I mean, it's always one of these creating a boogeyman for us to have to fight. And that gets the support of the people back home, you know, especially if you scare them enough. These people are coming to rape you and kill your babies and do all this other terrible shit to you because look at they're animals and shit. Oh, okay. So everybody else in the world is an animal except for us. Yeah, okay, right. Get the fuck out of here with this rhetoric.
Yeah.
You know?
I believe that, you know, that there's multiple different, you know, scenarios that could play out at this point, you know, but they're all going to be, you know, very complicated and complex. You know, like there's one where, you know, we could just World War III could break out, and we'll see that play out. It's a process. You know, it's already the wheels are turning. So there's either that path, or the QAnon narrative can come back into play, which I think is a huge. I'm not a QB, but I think that all that stuff is there for a reason, and even the trust the plan thing. It used to be like a communist, you know, talking point back in like the Soviet war. They had the similar thing, the trust the plan, and so like if all that stuff did come to light. And, you know, all these celebrities started going down, you know, like with Diddy, with his list and the Epstein list and all that. And then it installs this false sense of hope, you know, and rallying of the people on a whole different level. But then it ushers in something that people weren't expecting, you know, like they trust the plan all the way into getting, you know, Israel with much greater power in our country than they ever had before, because they, you know,
they've already got more power in this country than you could actually imagine.
They moved here the day the war was over. Yeah.
There's a reason I jokingly call this the United Slaves of America. Okay, if you ever want to know who rules you, just look at who you're not allowed to criticize. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say jack shit about it neither. And they'll openly brag that they run us. They openly brag on it. And that the stupid goyim put up with it. It's this conditioning. I got to take a leak real quick. I'm going to bring up this video and play while I go take a leak and come back. You'll like this, I think. This is pretty good. Wait, why do we have no sound? Because I have it fucking muted.
The final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept a post-human future. It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction. Most, if not all, that has transcended in the last 60 years was designed to get us closer to accepting such a dystopian reality. Whether you care to accept it or not, we live in a hyper-controlled matrix where our perception of reality is meticulously planned, managed, and executed in order to control and steer us in whichever direction they wish. And the direction is a post-human world. For this, they first needed to destabilize, dehumanize, and demoralize humanity through every means possible. The destruction of the nuclear family, children being indoctrinated by the state, abortion, the eradication of God and spirituality from education, life in megacities and away from nature, toxic food, air, and water, social media, replacing real human connection and interaction, engineered financial crisis and taxation, endless wars and massive migration, stress, anxiety, depression, drugs and alcohol, constant fear-mongering, moral relativism as the new religion, and I could go on and on about how humanity has been influenced and forced to move away from all the things that give us strength, security, purpose, and meaning. A weak, immoral, disconnected, ignorant, and unhealthy population is an easy target for the next stage, the creation of an entire generation of androgynous beings. Masculinity is under attack psychologically, culturally, and biologically. Women are being replaced in sports, entertainment, and politics by men pretending to be women, and children are being indoctrinated at school to think that gender is a choice. The transgender movement is not a grassroots movement. It comes from the top. It has nothing to do with people's freedom of expression, sexuality, or civil rights. It's an evil psyop with a clear agenda to get us closer to transhumanism by making us question the most fundamental notion of human identity, our gender.
Shit's pretty spot on so far, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
If you don't know who you are, if you already identify as a hybrid between a man and a woman, you will be easily convinced to become a hybrid between human and machine. Gender ideology is the 2 + 2 = 5 from George Orwell's 1984 dystopian novel. It's the final test to see whether we will follow the most absurd party line towards our own extinction. But 2 + 2 = 4. And no matter how you choose to dress, call yourself, or change your physique, will not change that. The sad reality, though, is that in the gaslighting process to get us closer to a post-human future, they have mentally and physically harmed an increasing number of children and young people, and it's only getting worse. This must be stopped.
Wow. I like how she wove that together. If you can be convinced of that interweaving of genders, then you can be convinced of the interweaving of a transhumanist agenda.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we're already at that point where I think so many people, if they had that option right now to go into this dystopian computer-based reality that where they had all their senses and everything was just peachy,
The final
you know, they would take that option, kind of like the movie WALL-E, you know, where they're all just sitting there and you know, all these obese characters that are sitting there, you know, with their their AI virtual reality goggles on, and they're in this, kind of like the Matrix. They're just in their pods and being, harvested for their energy, because that's, like they're mining for the lithium and everything else. The most powerful batteries in this reality are us. We have the most powerful batteries, and we have the power
could the batteries be in these people if they're like, I don't know. I just feel like they're like, maybe they're just going for numbers, right? So if they get billions, is that like billions of like a tiny bit of life energy, right? Is better than like. I'm just curious if they're getting more energy from others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like you hear the term like energy vampires, and and also just how they harness our energy. Like just even with like the thing voting coming up, like when you give your consent towards the system like that, then you're putting all your energy towards one of your candidate that you choose, and so you're giving all of that precious energy that you have over to the system and over to that
like
candidate.
So it's like betting on your home team or something. It's like,
exactly.
It's still like bad voodoo, right?
Yeah, and when people watch sports like that, think about how much energy they put into getting ready to watch the game. How they spend, their whole day is surrounded around the game. And then if their team loses, the next day at work, like they have just like a horrible day the next day because their team lost. And I mean, I lived in Wisconsin for a while, and people there were so obsessed with the Green Bay Packers. They would even talk about the Packers all the off season. Like that was like all they focused on. And it's like to give all that energy to the sports teams or whatever, and just not harness that energy with ourselves and acknowledge the divinity that is within all of us. Even going to church and things like that, like you don't realize, for the longest time that you're when you call our higher creator the Lord, and bow down to this higher being and basically subjugate all your free will and all of your divinity over to this higher source that is the same one. It's it's just another form of a control mechanism, another source to suck our energy. And all these churches, they do the Eucharist or whatever it's called with the
Eucharist,
the wine and the bread, and basically it's like a blood ritual.
It is a blood ritual. Its roots are right in that. The whole thing is a blood sacrifice ritual. The whole thing is based on that. These now, I don't think it was in the beginning, of course, but it was interesting you brought that up about the NFL and the sports teams and how that's how they grab up your energy. There's a lot more involved with that too. How these singers and shit. I've got a thing on here about Mariah Carey with Mariah Carey's sister talking about sacrifices that they did and shit. This is not a joke. This shit is for real. And here, I don't know who this guy is. He's an ex-NFL player, but let's listen to this for a second.
The things I've been saying about the NFL, that is rigged. Talking about the Hunt family, knee deep in the assassination of JFK, that the NFL is gay. Have I said this in a tweet like August 2020? All of a sudden, they want to award me a special presentation, just like how Franco Harris did a special interview before he was killed. This is how they get you, you former football players. They get you to show up at interviews. They get you to show up at presentations. And if you don't understand the numerology of anything, this is how they can get you and trap you. I would have gone and wouldn't know. And they could have easily put me in a predicament. I could have been at the bar. I could have been drinking. They could have came to my hotel. Any situation that would have fit my natural foolishness, which means either been drinking or been in a fight with a woman. That would be the only thing they would catch me with, and they would tell you this is how I felt. He died from alcohol poisoning, or he died fighting. And people would have believed it. If I went to that show and y'all would have heard that I got killed, and you would have told you I died by alcohol poisoning or something like that, most of you would have believed it, because that's usually what I've been in trouble for. This is how they get you. It's kind of comical, because once you understand numerology and gematria and they use the same numbers over and over and over again, it becomes pattern recognition. Okay, I've seen a lot of football players die, and it be because of numerology. I've seen a lot of celebrities die, and it be because of numerology. And it's always when they're by themselves, they're found dead in a hotel, or some craziness that they attach it to, and no one can know what's the real truth, because they're really that slick with it if you don't have your eyes open. So it's funny to me that these people do not like me. They do not like me around when I was there. When I was in the world, they didn't want me around. So all of a sudden, they're going to give me a presentation after me saying football been rigged, after me saying their family did everything they did, all this stuff I've been talking that smoke, and they want to invite me into an award show to give me a special award for something.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're like, we have a very special award for you.
Things I've been saying about the NFL.
Yeah, they want to take these motherfuckers out when they start talking about this shit, man.
Yep.
And
and then then that's when I think I don't know how it works, with how they replace people, but I do feel like Kanye West, I feel like they replaced him. He doesn't even look like the same Kanye. What's her name? Kate Middleton. I don't think that's the same Kate Middleton that was originally, because she disappeared, and they didn't have her in photos for a while, and then because they had to retrain her replacement and get her ready to come back out and be visible again.
What did they do with the real one? What did they do with the real one?
They probably killed her.
For what?
However, they can poison them, or
Yeah,
however.
I didn't say how, I said why.
Oh, why? Because she didn't want to. She didn't want to take part in it anymore. She knew how, how horrible the royal family was, and she saw too much, and she wanted to take her children and run from the situation. And she was basically like, I've had enough. I want a divorce. I want out. And she tried to get out of the situation, and that's when they're like, no, you're not leaving this situation alive. You can leave the situation, but you're not going to be alive. And unfortunately, I think that's what happened with her. And the same thing with the Diddy situation. I don't think that's Diddy. The arrest photo, it doesn't look anything like him.
There's supposedly some of that videos of Diddy and Prince Harry in bed together.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got so much stuff with him, and like Jay-Z and Oprah and all these. I mean, that rabbit hole just goes to the whole top of every. I mean, the Obamas are implicated in that. So many people.
Oh wow, yeah, I know.
And so, and that's why it'll be interesting if that stuff ever sees the light of day. Because now it's in the hands of.
Well, even at this point, though, Ross Bear, even at this point, with everything that's known, okay, I'm talking about him ordering under $32,000 worth of fucking hot dogs to be brought into the White House. Sorry, no outside foods allowed in the White House. That's not. No. Okay.
Yeah.
And knowing that the implications of what hot dogs represent, of course, I'm sure they've changed their code by now because everybody knows it. But at the time, we know what that meant.
Yeah.
It's not a secret at this point that Michelle Obama is a man. All of this shit is for real. And we know that We've heard people talk about these Diddy parties, that there's a lot of she-males running around at these things as well. Listen, no, that whole group right there is nothing but a big pack of gay motherfuckers all over the place, man. There's one guy talking about going in and seeing Will Smith bent over with some dude railing on him.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, these guys, is there anybody in there that ain't getting fucking ass railed?
Well, and the thing is, by the time it all does come to light, you know, it already is to the point where people are so desensitized to it that nobody even cares. You know, nobody.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not surprised. Now it's just like, oh, I'm not surprised. And then they're like, just like everything else, nothing's going to happen. It's becoming normal. You're right. There's a degree of normalcy to that. Corruption is actually people going, yeah, well, what else do you expect? You know, it's sort of like,
yeah.
What do you mean, what else do you expect? What the fuck, man? Why are you not doing something? You know, why are
it's
we
like
not?
Vince McMahon from WWE wrestling, you know, like he got canceled for like doing a lot of horrible things. They made like this documentary about him, but then they ended up bringing him back out and people cheered him back on when he came back out, you know, like even though they knew everything that he's done, they just cheered him on anyway. Cause like,
well, this shit is everywhere. It's permeated so high up into our levels of government. Recently, there was a scandal of two gay dudes that work in the fucking Congress, taking pictures of themselves having sex right there in the damn Congress room.
Yeah,
you know, right there where you see on C-SPAN. I'm like, oh my fucking God. What in the hell? Yeah. Dennis Hassert, former Speaker of the House, was called by a judge a serial PDF.
Yeah.
By the judge, got 18 months house arrest.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing happened.
What the fuck? You know? And it's like, and it's this kind of shit. Now, just recently, I know Mariah Carey, coming up on the Christmas season, and here just about a month or so ago, her mom and her sister both died on the same day, tragically. Oh boy, yeah. Watch Mariah have a platinum fucking Christmas album this year. Watch. It'll happen. Here's the thing about from her sister. Listen to this shit.
Listen, Carey, Mariah Carey's sister, talks about the sacrifices they would do for Mariah to get famous. Children between 1 to 3 years old were sacrificed, and this traumatized her horrifically.
We'd have these big circles of these Satanists around an altar where the people, sometimes in hooded, what do you call them? They were wearing these long cloaks that were brown with hoods, and they'd be in a circle or two circles, one inside of the other, by the altar, where there'd be live children and sometimes babies. So, and that would happen at night. I saw people get stabbed and start bleeding, and it would be dripping to the floor. It was children. The youngest I ever saw stabbed, I'd say it was about younger than 2 years old. And then there were several that were 2 and 3 years old. I can't imagine how anybody got away with that. The kid disappears. Don't detectives come try to figure out what happened?
Yeah, what I'm trying to get at is, why is there no investigation? I mean, is that a simple case of no body, no crime?
I would have to vet that was really her sister or whatever. That, you know, I know because it is a TikTok video. I would have to vet that that's her sister,
right?
To you know, to really confirm that. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that, you know, that those things most definitely occur, but yeah,
gay and that stuff is two different things, right? So if like you can't associate gay with that type of shit, and the same handshake. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Well,
whatever your
I
perception.
don't know. A lot of times, though, what we're finding out is that it does seem to go hand in hand.
I find the drug game is connected to
You
the
know,
sex game.
I mean, I'm seeing why is it so important to have drag queens read stories to children? Why
So they
is
can
it
get
so
closer.
important to expose? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think that once it basically, I think, comes down to deviancy. You know what I'm saying? That once you accept this deviancy, the other deviancies start becoming more acceptable as well. You know,
Right, but I think that's why it's a lot of gay black men having sex and wearing dress in Hollywood, and like, I mean,
well, what is it with this?
why is it
What is
just
it
the
with
black
this
community
rap
mostly we're
industry?
talking about?
Well, and here's the thing too, is this is another thing too that we have to look into too. And this is something that I'm trying to explore into. Is I'm seeing real heavy duty parallels to the Lemites, or what I would call OTO, what used to be known as the OTO, Crowleyism. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a big parallel to what's going on here, up to and including recording the secrets of the people that are in your little groups and shit. Much like this head of the OTO when Jack Parsons was with him, was doing. He was getting these people to, you know, free themselves by unburdening them of their, you know, innermost secrets and shit. Well, he was recording this stuff on wire, and you know, for possible blackmail later. It came back to bite him on the ass as well. Same thing as like what Diddy was doing. Diddy was recording all this shit, right? While providing the means to indulge into it. You see? And it was you hear
He
a
was a
great
producer.
number
He
of
was
these, like
producing videos for sure.
how many of
Like,
them
there
have
must
you
be.
seen? Well, how many have you seen with the shirts and the references to the doest thou wilt be the whole of the law?
Yeah, it's interesting that
Right.
you mentioned that earlier. I was listening before I got on and about Aleister Crowley because I was at the public library here. They just opened a new one, and we went to the library, and I was looking at all the graphic novels, you know, where all like the comic books are, and I happened to see this one called Aleister and Adolf, and it looked real interesting. So I sat there and I read it for a little bit, you know, and it's about during World War II, how the U.S. government basically contracted Aleister Crowley to do some of his magic for the military to combat the Nazis. And it's fascinating. It's a fascinating book.
Now, see, Jack Parsons, because of his association with Crowley, lost his security clearance because they said that Crowley was suspected of being a fucking Nazi agent.
And he probably, you know, but he probably was. But at the same time, like, look at, you know, what is it, Project Paperclip, and all the other ones
Yeah,
where,
well, yeah.
you know, where, you know, when you're suspected, it just means that you revealed your hand too much, and now
Well,
they
yeah,
have.
I mean, that's sort of like what we said with that action alone is yeah, we're against Nazis, kind of.
Yeah, it's like to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, it's like,
yeah,
it's like our country became like the third or the fourth Reich or whatever, you know, like we just moved all their top scientists and officials here, and you know, carried on their thing, and you know, and that just even shows that it wasn't about eradicating, you know, the people of Israel, because even, you know, Hitler himself was part Jewish. You know, it was about a much bigger world agenda, and
Well,
a lot of it was about doing, science research on, using humans as lab rats to advance in our neuroscience and other types of sciences to basically just experiment on people.
what Gov says here is, oh my God, with this is where you bridge right into this, man. I think he's a key element in a lot of things that occurred around his not just his involvement with the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and aerospace engineering in general, but how he I mean, that was, I think, if you really look, it's the satanic roots of the whole push into this space industry and everything else that they've got going on with this. It's rooted right in that. And another strange thing too, it wasn't until he did this ritual that he was trying to conjure up, and he died, I guess, before he was able to close it. But then that's when people first started seeing these UFOs and shit. First started reporting these fucking UFOs and shit. And it was like he was trying to summon demons. I mean, to make a long story short, I mean, there was some really crazy shit. He was out in the desert, jacking off over spells while L. Ron Hubbard sat over in the corner and wrote about it while he was doing it, watching him and shit. I mean, some really fucking bizarre, crazy stuff, man. Yeah. And anyway, there was a speculation that he had opened some kind of a portal and never closed it again. And interdimensionally. So I don't know.
Well, if there's pure evil, then there must be a good side. Then, if there's that much evil in some people, there must be a good side.
Well, it's,
That's the only thing I can say.
What station are you tuned to? That's what kind of music you're gonna pick up, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, and that's where like I look at it, I look at it, with an open mind, even all that stuff, because like you say, you tie it back into music. And like Aleister Crowley had a great impact on the music industry, with like Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath, and probably even Iron Maiden, which I went to see last night. Like there's probably definitely some influence in that.
Well, like, did you ever watch that movie I suggested, Ross the Bear, American Satan?
No, I haven't had a chance to watch it.
You gotta find that. You gotta watch that. That is really good, because it's kind of like along those lines. I mean, there's some really, really interesting shit. Crowley shows up on the cover of Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band. The Beatles were huge. Led Zeppelin.
Stock industry, man. They decided what was cool.
What's his name? Jimmy Page owns fucking Crowley's house, man.
And the largest satanic bookstore in Europe, I think, right? Or is that one of them? Robert Plant or Jimmy Page does.
One of them. And of course, Ozzy Osbourne and Mr. Crowley. This, there's a deep connection between, I would say, Los Angeles, Hollywood, the music industry, and the OTO. I really do, because there's so many of these people pay homage still to this day to the beast, the wickedest man in the world, Aleister Crowley, with his law that doest thou wilt be the whole of the law. I mean, they tout this around right in broad daylight, and then you realize the kind of depraved shit that was going on really at Diddy's. A lot of people are looking at this thinking, oh, it was just wild fucking orgies and crazy shit like that. No, I guarantee you there were rituals and shit. Look at that white party he had. All those people showed up all in white.
Yeah, they're making it cool though. All this dark magic, this fucking what do they call it? oh, what do they call it, man? Cooking, spirit cooking shit and all this stuff like this. Like,
Yeah.
they've been making it cool since the times you're talking about, right? Like, and then with the music and stuff, with all kind of devilish type stuff. And yeah.
Well,
they're
I
trying
dare
to-
say that it's been a part of it for a long time, longer
Yeah,
than
but
we
I'm
can
saying
imagine.
whatever's cool nowadays, like what people are getting caught for nowadays, people are gonna think that's cool now, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, psychopaths, obviously, but you know, and it's like this
I
group
don't know.
consciousness. It's like this group
Well,
consciousness takes over. Like,
Well, and that's where like I have to look at it. You know, like somebody just put in the chat, like most of Ozzy's lyrics were about love and all these about good messages and stuff, and I do see a lot of goodness in you know even these you know where some just want to cast them out as darkness. Like I love you know Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and a lot of these bands that you know like you know like that technically like a lot of conservatives and whatever would write them off as pure evil and whatnot, but at the end of the day I do see a lot of goodness in their message and what they bring. You know, I don't just throw it all out because I don't understand it. You know, but I also like
I think we could do without
their-
the back masking, though, don't you?
Yeah, I look at the way they achieved their level of skill and ability, and like how talented some of these musicians are, and I'm just like I don't understand how they achieve such level of talent. And
You ever
skill.
heard of? You ever heard? I know. Have you ever heard of Robert Johnson?
No, I don't know if I've heard of him.
This guy, he wanted to play guitar, got himself a guitar, went down to the crossroads, sold his soul to the devil. This is the story. Came back and became a blues legend.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was huge in the blues. Like they were huge into selling their soul. Like that's well known. Like
okay. So what all is involved with that? Now, what we're finding out more often than not, that it seems to be that there has to be a blood sacrifice. Now, a true sacrifice is something dear and precious to you. Okay, so for an individual to make a sacrifice, it has to be something that you would really, really don't want to part ways with.
Yeah.
And this is why we see that, like, I mean, there's so much. Take a look at Eric Clapton, Tears in Heaven, right? He'd been a big star in the 60s and the 70s. The 80s are there. He's waned out, right? But then all of a sudden his son falls out of a window and dies. He writes a song about it. Platinum album. Platinum. Made all kinds of money. MTV Unplugged, all kinds of fucking shit. Everywhere you went, you heard Eric Clapton, his solo album, you know, his acoustic shit. It was all, everybody was going gaga, loving it, right? Look at Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan openly admits that he did this, right? Now, I got to tell you something. I was kind of unpopular for this statement right here that I've had my entire life, and especially amongst my generation. Bob Dylan sucks. I can't understand why anybody likes him. I don't understand where they think that there's this talent and everything, because everything he sings, the motherfucker sounds like he's whining about it. Like a rolling stone. You know, god damn, dude, go on somewhere. Oh.
Yeah, he's
Lucky Haskin made it in here. As Maria Walker showed up, we got realize. We got a bunch of people showing up since the last time I was
plugging my computer in so it don't die on me here.
Well, that's probably a good thing to do. I would imagine. We've got. Oh, I wish I could find that. Yeah, that girlie who wanted to. Yeah, she didn't know where to get quarters from. She did not know where to get quarters from. But I'll tell you another thing that they've done too is that they've really they've taken the average male and turned so many of them into big, weepy vaginas.
It's true. I see it all the time here in Portland.
Oh my God, and I think a lot of this is through the artificial estrogen in all the plastics. I mean, I'm amazed. You sit back and you think about shit, how much plastic, especially with our food, how much plastic we are actually exposed to, which of course leaches out these synthetic hormones, estrogens. That
they said that we consume possibly an average of a credit card's amount of microplastics a week.
Oh my
A whole
God.
credit card's worth of plastic is what average person consumes right now.
Jesus, one of these days I'm going to shit out a little toy boat or something.
Rubber ducky.
Yeah, for the past year or so, like or probably even longer, I was buying milk jugs of distilled water because I didn't want to drink the city water. And those flimsy milk jugs are so finicky. I know there was plastic and all that. So I finally bit the bullet and got one of those reverse osmosis systems for my water here. And so I've been, at least through that means, consuming a lot less microplastics that way.
Well, I kind of like my microplastics now. I'm to the point now that I just go for macroplastics. Like when this lighter's all done, I'm just gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Just get it over with. Fuck it. Why are we dicking around with microplastics? Pussy, get some macroplastic. Eat a fucking styrofoam cup, god damn it. Enjoy life.
Video, there was a guy going around eating candy glass. He was like, have a drink or whatever, and then he just started eating the glass. And people around him were like, what the fuck?
No doubt, right?
They do a switcheroo with the guy, so there's like another glass next to him, and he's like, hey, you gonna eat that? He's like, no. He takes the next glass, starts eating that one too. But it's just candy glass, right? Whatever.
Candy glass. Watch this guy. This guy's like a candy ass. This is funny as shit, man. Watch this.
Look, no, bro. Step
Road
away
rage
from the
in
car.
Texas.
Is this even your car? I mean, do you have the papers for it and stuff? Sir, this is really expensive. Doesn't seem like you guys can afford it.
I'm about to step up. I'm about to step up, bro.
I'm
about to step up.
What is your issue with it? It's not my issue.
Don't
really.
touch my car.
It's my
Don't touch my
customers
car,
and
bro.
stuff. I just are just worried because it's very suspicious behavior.
Bro,
And they're just worried that you guys
we're
might-
chilling. Bro, get your hands out the way. Bro, don't touch my car.
Okay, well,
I'm not going to tell you again.
Okay, please don't holler.
I'm not going to tell you
Okay,
again.
listen,
Don't touch my
first of
car.
all, you are being very threatening right now. Okay? I do not feel safe right now. Okay? And I tried to come over here and be polite and speak to you kindly. And just like you
crazy,
people
bro.
always do, you get hostile and violent. I'm on my job, and I have people coming here talking about the two young, scary guys in the car.
Oh my
And on my job.
Bro.
This can't be real.
No, bro. Step away from the car, bro.
Is this even your car? I mean, do you have the papers for it and stuff?
This is one of those setup videos. There's so many of these videos out now where like they plan the whole scene and then they make it out to look real, but like that's totally what that one is. Like you like if you like really look closely, you can tell like there's no because like there's no way you would go from being so like just like faint acting, and then all of a sudden to be like, this is how you people always do.
Those brothers couldn't keep from cracking up either, because that dude was playing like such a fag too. He was like going, he was
going
you
for
guys
the
are
Oscar.
scaring me, stop. Fucking pussies. Oh my god. Yeah, unfortunately though, you see a lot of men are this way now. They are. And there again, probably all the soy, all the microplastics and estrogen and weedy.
Yeah. No, I was in the grocery store the other day, and it was the dad and his wife and his kid, and his wife and the kid didn't have the mask on, but the dad had the mask on, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, he's supposed to be setting the example, the masculine, and his wife's the one who's like not wearing a mask. She didn't care, but for some reason, like it didn't make any sense whatsoever to me. I mean, the mask alone never makes sense to me. Like, especially now.
I know. I see people out there like that with the mask on and shit, and everybody else around them, and nobody will say shit to them. Now I know Mike from THC. He'll say something to him. When he was here, he saw some people wearing masks at the Luray Cavern, and I looked around. I didn't know where he was at. He's over there explaining to him how they didn't have to wear those masks, man. It was just stupid. You was being scared of nothing and shit. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, the other day I was at the grocery store, and the checker lady, like, she was an older checker lady, and she wore the mask. Like, she's probably hasn't taken it off since the whole COVID thing has happened. And
right.
But then she pulled it down under her chin to talk to me while she's checking me out, and I'm just like, I don't understand, like, why, like, and then there's this one old guy, I see him at the grocery store all the time. He looks like he's wearing the same N95 mask for like the past 2 years, because it's like all just like really crusty looking, like it just looks disgusting. But he just wears it every time he goes to the store.
Look, man. I don't get it, man. Well, like this thing, right? I asked this guy the other day. I says, look here. I says, do you believe this is real? Right? Well, let me show this to you. Watch. All right, look at that thing. Now, that thing's really going fast, right? Doesn't look like it's speeding up or anything. It's going the same speed. Nothing's speeding up. It's just going at the same speed all the way up. Okay. And he goes, well, yeah, it's real heavy. It's real heavy. And that's why it looks like it's going slow. And you see, and I says, okay. I says, now here's the one thing you never ask yourself. What's the biggest thing that's wrong with this whole thing right here?
Who's filming it first?
There you go. Thank you, Rasta Bear. Who in the fuck is filming that?
Why is it fucking smoking? Why is the whole thing like rolling smoke like fucking dry ice?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But my biggest thing was, where's the guy with the camera standing at? Man, that's what I want to say. I had somebody say that this was a drone. This was a drone. Okay, watch it real carefully.
Yeah. Well, and see, these rockets could be made completely out of just like plastic, and they could weigh like 100 pounds.
It might just be a fucking rocket-assisted balloon, for all we know.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, man. That's taken from a drone. The guy was trying to say it was taken from a drone, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Where's that? And there, right there, okay, you can see the shoreline of the ocean. Right there's the beach. And I'm sorry, folks, there is a flight restriction for several miles around any rocket launch site like that. That's no. No, you're not going to have a drone. And if you watch the angle, it would have to be relatively close in order to get that angle. Look at.
Yeah, it would have to be super close.
Yeah. And no turbulence from the rocket that's supposedly zipping by at tremendous speeds. And there you see, looking almost straight up at, almost like you're looking down at. Christ almighty. And people, they'll believe that shit, and they'll never ask that critical question. Who filmed that?
Yeah.
No, that's real. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have any discernment whatsoever, and they refuse to even ask questions at this point. Like it's mind-boggling to think about.
And people will believe this. This is from the JAXA. This is from the Japanese. A stunning time lapse of Earth setting below the moon's horizon, captured by the Japanese spacecraft Kaguya as it orbits the moon. Now, this is what people will think is real. You gotta be kidding.
What?
You've got to be fucking kidding me. It's time lapse, and notice the Earth is not rotated one little fucking bit. Same cloud patterns, no movement of clouds, no movement of land. But people will be
Because
going,
there's a
oh,
time warp. Because when you go past the Van Halen belt, there's a fucking...
Yeah, the Van Halen belt.
Have you guys ever watched that channel, Apollo Detectives?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Oh my God, those guys, man, they really break down shit. How the film would never have worked in the environment of space around the moon. And I watched one today where they were touching on something I've said a million times. Like, how the fuck did they get into their goddamn spacesuits to get out to go out on the moon?
Yeah.
There's no way. It'd be like you trying to imagine sitting in the back seat of a car with another guy next to you, and you both got to put on that fucking gear. That's all the room you got.
Yeah. And that spacesuit stuff looks pretty stiff. Like, it doesn't have much give to it to where you can like bend and flex and wiggle into it.
Right.
It just yeah. That the whole thing with the moon, just to think that they had such better clarity in their pictures back then. Than the pixelated stuff that they give us now.
Oh, kind of off topic, but still on topic. I'm seeing some shit here about that Diddy's facing death penalty for the murder of Michael Jackson. They're trying to build a case on connecting him to Michael Jackson's murder.
Well, see, and that should just show you that,
this is getting really
how
deep.
much of this is, because I honestly question if Michael Jackson's really dead. Like, there's video of like this. He used to wear disguises all the time. He was a master of disguise. Mm-hmm. And there's this one fella at the alleged funeral for Michael Jackson that comes and like sits up front at the funeral and looks like it's Michael Jackson, and he's there at his own funeral. Same with even like Tupac. Like there's been all these videos of this guy who claims that he's Tupac, and that that he's gonna resurface here soon.
And JFK Jr. is gonna come back too. He's gonna be the vice president. Yeah, and, I know.
All that. It would just be mind blowing if so much of this stuff.
And then at the inauguration of Trump, Jimi Hendrix, aka Morgan Freeman, is going to make an appearance, and he's going to jam out the Star Spangled Banner on the fucking lawn of the White House. As JFK Jr. comes parachuting in with an American flag, fucking parachute and shit.
Yeah, nothing at all would surprise me at this point. Like it really, like they could have spaceships land on the freaking White House lawn, and the aliens can get out and give a speech, and I wouldn't bat an eye to it at this point.
Joe Biden comes out. Joe Biden comes out the front door in the fucking White House, does a pratfall, gets right back up like Willy Wonka, and pulls off his mask, and it's Jim Carrey.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jim Carrey for sure is in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm bummed to see Biden go. I've grown quite fond of him over this last bit of time.
Jim Carrey.
The role of Kamala Harris was played by Jussie Smollett. It's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, they started going down the cast members of all the.
Dude, this is how bizarre this fucking shit is, man. Oh, it really is. That's how bizarre this shit is. It really is. And
It is. I mean, well, I mean, and they've shown like these latex masks that they can make, you know, and like shown how real they are, you know, to the fact, and we never get close enough to any of these people to even to give them a good look up and down. You know, most of us have never even seen any of these individuals in real life.
Back in the late 60s, early 70s, there was a TV show called Mission Impossible. Peter Graves and anyway, they pull these deals and they used masks and shit like that where they would look like the person they were supposed to look like, just like they can actually do now. And I remember thinking, yeah, they don't have masks that good. There's no way, you know. And then I'm seeing some of these that they got now, and I'm like, wonder how long they've actually had these fucking things. Maybe they were telling us about them, you know?
Yeah.
How do we know that, you know, just because this is what I found with shit like that. By the time you find out about it, they've already got something way fucking better.
Yeah, that's the rule of thumb, that their technology is a good 20 to 50 years more advanced than what we are privy to at this time.
Yeah.
You know, anything that we know about, and even the stuff we don't, they're way more advanced than that.
Right.
I'm kind of like with the iPhone, you know, like when they came out with the iPhone, they already had the iPhone 15 ready to go.
Yeah, it was ready. It's in a warehouse over in Hong Kong waiting to be shipped out, you know, at the planned obsolescence time.
Yeah.
You know, they do that. They have planned obsolescence on these things so that you'll keep buying them. I mean,
it's the trickle effect. Where if they'd released it all at once, then like it would disrupt their whole marketing campaign. Whereas, you know, like it's smart business, honestly, the way they did it. You know, just slowly introduce the technology and let people play around with that for a minute, and then act like, you know, just like our memory cards, you know, like the amount of memory that we can store on like a little micro memory card, you know, like where we can almost, I think, like store even terabytes on like a little mini card now.
Back in like, I think 1988, 1989, I got my first computer. It was an 8088 processor, XT, had a turbo speed of 9.45 megahertz, right? And had, because paid extra to get this, a 20 megabyte hard drive. And I was like, there's no way I'll ever use all that up, man. I'll have this forever. You know, there's no way I'll ever use that all up. 20 megabytes. Holy shit. That's incredible amount of data, right? Now, fuck, 20 megabytes. Hell, that's there's small video files that are that much. You know, very small video files. I mean, and now I got like one over here. I got a storage bank that's, you know, in terabytes. It's like, what the fuck, multiple terabytes? Oh god, this is insane. You know, and the thing is, you know, a lot of my show here is to wake people up, yes, to flat earth, because I think it's a keystone to the rest of the deceptions. I try to wake people away from their mental chains, you know, to make them start thinking for themselves. But I came across this in this guy, Galactic Zoo. He said, stop trying to wake other people up. Don't waste your time or energy. If they are adults and they are still asleep, then they are in the Matrix reality. There are two worlds running parallel to Earth right now, awakened and asleep. And this little video, I'm going to show this real quick.
Good evening, friends. Truth really is stranger than fiction. And the deeper you look into how this world is operating, the stranger it truly becomes. The Greeks knew it 3,500 years ago. Most gurus and scientists have known it throughout the ages, and we're all going to find out sooner or later. But if you're trying still to change people's minds, stop. If you're trying to awaken people, stop. If you're trying to change people's minds about geoengineering and vaccines and transgender and CO2 lies, most of the time, just stop. Because you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your breath, you're wasting your time. They're not going to wake up. It's not happening. If it isn't happening by now to people who are adults on planet Earth, youngsters, a little bit different story. They're not waking up. It's not happening. There are two realities side by side on the planet at this time. And if you haven't worked that out, you will do soon. And it sounds like real nonsense, and it sounds like science fiction. It sounds like something out of Star Trek, but it isn't. It's just how it is. Truth is really very strange, and it's stranger than fiction. And that's the reality we live in. That's why we can't wake up other people. That's why people will still take booster after booster after booster, even after they see people dropping down dead. People will read reports about CO2 nonsense and lies and everything, and they still believe it. They still glue their face to the pavement. They still walk really slowly in front of a truck thinking they're saving the world, whilst China pumps out 10 billion tons of shit every 10 minutes. Doesn't matter. It won't go in. They cannot see it. They cannot hear it. And they cannot taste it or hear it or smell it or anything it. It doesn't exist for them. They're living in a different reality. You have to understand it. It's not just because they're dumb. It's not just because they're compromised. They're things that are part of the equation. People who are compromised are definitely part of the equation. There's a lot of people out there, especially in power, who are just after that, and that's most humanity, unfortunately, who do know that that's the case. They do know there's a dual reality happening, but they'll just go along for the ride because, you know, like the guy in the Matrix, they want the stake and they want to have a successful existence, and they don't really give a shit. But for the rest of the people who are kind of yearning for the truth and yearning to wake up, stop wasting your time trying to wake up others. You can only really wake up yourself. You can only really do it through your heart center. And once enough of us do that, once enough of us have accomplished that, then consciousness changes, because we are creating the reality. We are doing it. They push us in a direction and we create that reality. They push us in a direction of war and fear, and we create more of that. The more we reject it collectively, the more we create a different future. Have a good day.
Yeah,
I agree.
I totally agree with that too. You know, I think that we're in an ascension period right now as a humanity, where our conscious level is ascending to a higher dimension of consciousness, and our spirituality as well. But you know, it's like when someone is not that intelligent or not thinking right, you know, there's that term, they're just dense, you know, really dense person. And that's because they want to maintain and stay into the lower basques of this reality, where it's like two circles that are like coinciding, and we're pulling away to the higher level of consciousness because we don't want to. We have been blessed with the ability to wake up and to go in. And I think like you know, your background there, the eclipse, I think that was a huge marker for the ascension process. You know, as that was like a changing of the lenses. It's like with sunscreen.
We just started we just started into Aquarius as well too.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we've left out of what they called like a Kali Yuga period, where the controllers run the things, and that's what's happening right now with the whole control system. is that's why they're trying to start all these wars and everything, not because it's because they know they're losing control and they're losing power of this matrix reality, this whole system. They know that their time of reign is over. But it's like when an animal's dying, you know, it's like it doesn't just fall over dead. It starts to flop around and give that one last fight. And that's what we're seeing happen with the control system. Is that our controllers are, trying to burn as much down and take as many souls with them on the way out as they can. But
my buddy just texted me and said he just found out that Nancy Reagan's nickname in college was the Throat Goat.
I wouldn't be surprised, they all get that way.
What do we got going on here? Now I'm gonna have to get off here in just a minute. About 10 more minutes.
Up over here. I gotta get off here in a minute too.
Here's what is this? The last time I saw somebody with a woman in a gown wearing antlers like that was a photograph from one of Rothschild's eyes wide shut parties and shit.
Will be exposed.
I mean, when I walk in, I definitely take pride in being the originator of the preparation of the sex. Little things that I personally like. A lot of ladies, they just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
You know what's funny is all these memes, these Diddy memes. They remake all these movie posters and stuff with Diddy. Have you seen all these? Like they did Forrest Rump instead of Forrest Gump. And
dude, there's these cartoons I've seen on YouTube where they're like all these fucking Diddy cartoons somebody's been making. Let me see if I can find one of them, man. It's let me see.
Yeah, I think even the last Diddy court appearance, his attorney talked about how all the hurtful social media that's been coming out over it, and it's people just can't get enough of the whole meme culture in general is just so fascinating because it just turns everything into a comedy event.
Yeah, Morbid Melon. Morbid Melon's the channel. Diddy finally, he's got one from 2 months ago. Diddy finally catches Jay-Z. Here's one, the Justin Bieber story. Check this out. I can stop it every so often, but these are actually, I don't know what the fuck, man. This is crazy. This is fucking mind-blowing, man.
Yeah.
People, I can't believe now who's really putting this out. That's what I'm wondering, Watch this.
Calm down. I got the hottest, young, sensual piece of white right here.
I want to taste of some white chocolate.
Whoa there, Mr. Diddy. Take that. Now we know we're going to have a grand pizza party tonight, right? Oh, it's a pizza party? Where's the pizza?
Nigga, you the pizza. It's you, nigga.
Mom? Dad? Mom and Dad? Mom and Dad left you here with me. Welcome to Diddy's Flavor Can.
Oh, flick that hair again. Flick it again.
Yeah, I like that.
It got to fucking Law and Order. Chung.
You seen him now? Bieber's so fucked up.
This is odd. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I feel bad for the Beeb.
I do too, man. But wow. I mean, how did nobody see that? I was like, that's kind of weird. What's with this fucking guy wanting to hang around with this young boy and shit and give him cars and all this other crazy shit? What the fuck is that? I saw it as something sus going on. And when this guy, they're tied right into what's that? Lex, what's his name? The guy that's the head of the record company. Wears a purple suit and shit. What the fuck is his name? Bald-headed guy.
Shoot, I can't think of his name right now, right off the top of my head.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Clive Davis.
Phil Schneider. Phil Schneider.
Oh,
Isn't that
Phil,
right?
yeah.
Isn't that right?
No,
Wait,
Phil
it's
Schneider was.
Oh yeah, that's different. Wait, it's Phil something in it.
Not Phil Knight. Maybe, I don't know.
Anyway, check this out. It's like
Yo, when you think about bringing up my lows just a little bit
Yo,
more.
Justin, where you been? Justin, it's me. It's Diddy.
I ain't see you in a while. You avoiding me? Hey, Mr. Diddy. Why we ain't partying like we used to? You coming tonight, right? Yeah, no, I still like to party with you, but I can't come tonight, though. I said you coming tonight, right? No, look, I can't be there tonight, though. I can't. You gonna be there, right? Last time we partied, Mr. Diddy, it was very hard on me. Like, really hard on me. Like, super hard. Look at me. I said you gonna be there, right? Okay, Mr. Diddy, I'll be there. That's real good. It's gonna be a good party tonight, Justin. Great party. You know what kind of party it's gonna be, right? Freak off. It was at that time that I knew if I didn't do something, it was gonna keep happening to me. So what did you do, Justin? I started bringing my own pizza and birthday cake to the parties, even if it wasn't his birthday. Why was that? Because I knew for all of them, especially him, it was so yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. It would be so yummy, 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 yummy.
This is so dark. What the fuck, right?
Just
But he said he'd bring ass back to the party so that he wasn't the main center attraction, or at least it was.
Yeah.
So I remember the one thing about him too, because I'm fading fast too. But the one thing about him too is he was like underage, and there was like I don't know if it was like he was wearing white shorts, and there was like a penis photo that came out on like Ellen DeGeneres or something. And I remember that when it happened and shit. And then at the award ceremony,
he was like walking nude on a beach or some shit, I think, or something.
Yeah, it was some girl. Anyways, I don't remember if he was of age or not, but then when he got that award and that one chick like groped him and like basically like I don't know, she was like kissing his neck or some shit. And he's like, "Oh my god, I feel violated." I actually felt for her when I saw that. I was like, "Oh damn, like you poor guy getting attacked by actresses, right?" But looking back on it now,
there was definitely a lot of these
they can't help
women were
themselves but
making
show
some
off.
inappropriate. They were making some inappropriate remarks, I would say. You know, if there
One of
was
their
a man
weaknesses
making,
is, yeah, they can't help but show off and make themselves known or whatever too.
if it was a man making the same intonations against a young girl, it'd be all over them and shit. But women, they get a pass, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody needs to be getting a pass. I don't know.
Justin. So by birthday cake and pizza, what are we really referring to here? You saw the videos. You know what we're talking about here. You're going to get me in trouble. You know what? Get this mic off me. Turn off those cameras. I'm done with this interview.
But I mean, I couldn't believe there was a whole fucking channel of these things out there. These cartoons.
Yeah, it was almost like it was ready to go. Like some sad shit.
I mean, this channel's got Morbid Melon is the name of it.
You know we do whatever we want to do, no consequences.
And what's he say? He's got 41 videos. Wild Will.
Well, it makes you wonder if any of this stuff is even real. You know, it could just be part of the movie we're watching. You know,
years back, quite a few years back, I'd heard rumors about these rappers talking about that they had to do that shit, you know, and I'd heard people talking about that, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe that's just rumors or whatever, you know, put out by haters or whatever, you know. But you know, the more that I've seen over the years, and I gotta say, where there's fucking smoke, there's fire, man.
Yeah.
There's just no other way. Where there is smoke, there is fire. Now, I'm not
there's
saying that
definitely
all of it is, but I'm just saying because people tend to go overboard. I mean, Christ, look at how they did with this Tartaria shit, or the meltology thing. It's like, here's some evidence that some buildings have been exposed to some extreme heat to a point where it appears the bricks melt. Therefore, every mountain is a melted building. It's like, well, stop. Just stop. It's like these people that get all freaked out, and every time they catch somebody do some kind of a fucking facial movement or a hand gesture or something, look, they're Illuminati. It's like, oh my God, fuck off. They go into these fucking panics over shit, but I do agree that this is a worldwide thing. Most, if not all, of our people in power are engaged in some aspect of this dark behavior. And I'm wanting to say that, something has led me to, I don't know why, but for some reason I just was guided to go, you know what? I want to find out some more about this Jack Parsons, and leading it into the OTO, and how he was initially the one who started bringing some military people into it. And I mean high level military people.
I'm sure, and like I say, when people go into the military in general, I think that it's a way of them selling their souls, to the government.
This leads you up to Michael Aquino, and you find out that there was a chapter of this thing on a U.S. Army base, and he was the chaplain of this fucking thing. I mean, dude, this shit is permeated into these. Trust me, this is only the tip of the iceberg of how the real power fucking structure works. That's why I would never, this quest and lust for fame and wealth and notoriety or control. I don't understand how somebody can be so wrapped up in their fucking self that they would want any of that.
Yeah.
Why? What kind of a hole are you trying to fill?
Yeah. It never turns out the way that they planned. You can see how empty all these people are, like the ones that have all the toys, they're just so empty inside.
Yeah.
It definitely reflects. And especially once you can read people's energies in any way, and really, see what type of aura that they're emitting, then, But I got to jump off here now. I've been on for a bit. I got to go take care of a few things and get ready for bed here. But
Brad and Tasha says that the Now You See TV on YouTube has done some extensive research into the OTO and JPL and Parsons. It's far darker than most people realize. It really is. It really is. It's quite a fucking story. It really is quite a story, and I'm sure I've only have scratched the surface, and I'm already going, okay, I'm starting to see some patterns. I'm starting to see some patterns here.
Yeah.
And it's remarkable that, as this is coming to light about these quote unquote freak off parties.
Yeah.
The allegations and everything of people of notoriety. And I mean, we got to look at some people of notoriety who were there that are in our government, who've been associated with this character, right? Barack and Michelle Obama et al., Kamala Harris. There's a bunch of fucking people been around and hang out with this guy. He's got dirt. Now, I guarantee you, I don't think he's going to make it out of prison. And we're going to see the same thing happen pretty much as far as high level people are concerned. Just kind of fall off the radar, kind of like the Epstein thing,
Yeah.
People keep bitching about when are we going to see it? When are we going to see it? And then pretty soon it just becomes old shit. New stuff comes on the horizon. Everybody forgets all about it. Meanwhile, you still don't get any closure on it. You see?
How many trap houses? How many trap houses are there on the block in Detroit or whatever? Like, so what? So Diddy's house and this other Epstein guy is the only 2 trap houses? No, there's thousands of them throughout each country. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is something that is never gonna be fully undiscovered, man. Like, but I hope they burn some of them.
Well, I think it's going to come to a head finally where people are going to become wiser. Hopefully. Although the amount of people I see, I think they're putting their hope rather than in just themselves and standing for what's right. They're putting their hope in some politician to do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and you can't do that. You have to grab your values. You stand by your values and don't yield on them. It's that simple. No politician can do that for you. No church can do that for you. Only yourself and God can do that.
Yeah, we have the power within us, you know, and the second that we subjugate our power to others, you know, that we turn it over and you know, think that someone else has more of a connection to the creator than we do, or that, you know, like they have this super ability that we don't, then we surrender that power, and then we don't achieve the power that we have within us.
Right.
And you know, the second that we say we're not playing the game anymore, though, we take that power back.
Well, they've convinced you don't have the potential, and so therefore you never strive to get beyond it. That's the key. Keeping you feeling insignificant and small. And the whole time you hold the key. We hold the key. We hold the power.
Yeah.
Well,
on that note, I'm getting off here.
All right, Ross Bear, thanks for coming
Talk to
on.
you guys later.
Yeah.
Snowman, thank you for coming on. I'm going to take this opportunity to shut it down. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Be sure you're subscribed, hit the bell notification so that you can be notified of when I go live or upload a video. Outside of that, wow, just keep your eyes open, man. This is an entertaining, don't let it scare you. Just it ain't shit you can do about it. Just watch the show, eat the popcorn, and we'll see what comes about from all this crazy shit that they're hitting us up with. We're at a peak of it. We always are every 4 years. I think it was around this time 4 years ago or so we started seeing people in China falling over and happen to be picked up off the sidewalk. So get ready. It might be a bumpy ride, but it'll be something. We'll still be here, hopefully, and we'll still be unchaining your mind from the normal paradigm. And I want to thank everybody for showing up. So just remember, the Lord loves the working man. Don't trust white, and see your doctor and get rid of him. We'll see you next time right here on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind.